listening to the White Hot Heat Postgame Show on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
That is right. Everyone seems to be on a break except for us. I'm loving it. Dolphins, they have the week off. Hurricanes, they have the week off. But we're going to get into all the things that they have going on over the next couple of days to get ready for the rest of the season, the long haul. Inter Miami, they have the day off, doing some international work for some of the guys. Nonetheless, we still got the Panthers. We've got Major League Baseball going on. We got college football galore, but it is nice to have kind of a weekend to go, we're good. No wins, no losses, no nada. And coming off wins for both the Hurricanes, Inter Miami, and the Dolphins. So you feel good taking a little break. Maybe today's the day you do that honeydew list or just whatever else you might need to do. I'm going to be with you till 4 o'clock. My cousin Vladimir Lewisson going to be joining me soon. As the show goes on, we'll have more friends and guests joining us. From Battered Herons podcast, Daniel Solana going to be joining us in the 2 o'clock hour. He's going to be talking about Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez. They're going for the record for most points in a regular season for MLS. Some other things going on, getting us ready, not just for that final game of the year, which is a week from today, but also the playoffs where they hope to capture MLS Cup. Need more? No worries. My dude, Alex, he's a manager over at Funky Buddha. He's going to be doing some prognosticating. He's got his prognostication going on. I'm also going to be checking in with my cousin Vlad. He's going to be giving us some of his bets, just kind of seeing where everybody stands because, you know, it's the weekend and you don't have your teams playing. So got to get things kind of going. Going to get things kind of going right now with the headlines. The Panthers, they take on the 0-3 Buffalo Sabres tonight at 7. Alexander Barkov is suffering from a lower body injury and is questionable for tonight. Hockey's so different than all the other sports. They just had a lower body injury. You don't need any more details than that. Barkov going off the ice the other night, not looking too good. But then again, you don't know because Paul Maurice, Bill Zito, the whole team, they just say lower body injury. Is he going to play? Day by day, minute by minute. We don't know. You're never going to know. Hockey guys, they don't show their pain. They don't show very much. They don't show their cards. They keep it very close to the vest. So I wouldn't be surprised if Alexander Barkov doesn't play tonight because it's early in the season. And that did look like kind of a nasty leg injury against the Ottawa Senators the other night. Same token, I wouldn't be surprised if he does play because he's a hockey player. He's a captain of the team and he wants to be there and he wants to play. And that's what hockey guys do. So keep it tuned. Coming up 7 o'clock tonight, Doug Plagan's going to be on the call right here, 560 WQAM for Panthers Sabres. Sabres 0-3. Panthers 1-1 on the season. Kind of a nasty loss to the Ottawa Senators the other night, but nonetheless, early. Remember, the Panthers started 0-2 last year. No reason to worry at all. It's a long season. Hopefully another long postseason for the Panthers. Speaking of the postseason, the Dodgers defeated the Padres 2-0 to advance to the NLCS. They're going to be playing the Mets today at 1. It's game 5 between the Guardians and the Tigers. The Tigers have come out of nowhere, had the Guardians up against the ropes, who are one of the best teams, if not the best team in Major League Baseball this year. Nonetheless, the winner of today's game at 1 o'clock, and you know I'm going to be watching, and you know I'm going to be cheering for the Cleveland Guardians. Growing up, they were my favorite team because growing up in New Orleans, there was no baseball team, and a lot of the LSU guys went and played for Cleveland. So still a Guardians fan. Still Marlins number 1, but nonetheless. The winner of the Guardians and the Tigers will play the Yankees in the ALCS. That Yankees lineup is deadly. It hasn't been exactly deadly in the postseason, but it's like a volcano. It could erupt at any time. They have a lot of talent. I know a lot of people here in South Florida and really kind of across the world, big Yankees fans. So it should be interesting to see those teams square off. Tyreek Hill has posted online reassurance to Dolphins fans that he is staying in Miami amidst rumors that he could be traded back to Kansas City. Of course, Miami is on a bye week and will play the Colts next Sunday. Very interesting stuff going on with Tyreek Hill. People are going here and there and everywhere. He's kind of posting online stuff. People think he and Patrick Mahomes have a special relationship or was a special relationship. He's not going anywhere. Nonetheless, not helping that. But he's coming out and says, oh, man, you guys, don't worry about it. I'm going to be staying here. Tyreek Hill, here to stay, here to play. Very happy that he is still with the Dolphins. And once again, we have the week off. We're going to have another game against the Colts. Should be interesting to see what happens with the Colts. Of course, it's most likely 95% Tyler Snoop Huntley will start for the Dolphins. Who knows who's going to start for the Colts? I would prefer Anthony Richardson coming off an injury. Some other people are saying, oh, no, Joe Flacco, the statue of a man back there, he won't give the Dolphins any fits. We'll wait and see. Sixth ranked Miami Hurricanes are one of the top offensive teams in the country. They, of course, have that bye week. 1 week from today, they play Louisville at noon, a little nooner. I love a little nooner. I know when I was in college at LSU, of course, Saturday nights in Tiger Stadium, it was all about that because you get out at like 11 or 12 noon, you party and tailgate all day long, then go to the game, then party afterwards. Not in college anymore. So when I see the Hurricanes and Louisville playing at noon, I'm like, all right. Roll out of bed, turn on the game right here, 560 WQAM, Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr. Listen to the game, maybe have a few nooner brewskis, enjoy the game, and then you got the rest of the afternoon to sleep or do whatever else you want to do. So very excited. Of course, our pregame show going to be starting at 8 a.m. right here at 560 WQAM. So it's going to be a full day of the Hurricanes 1 week from today. Almost exactly 1 week from right now, they'll be kicking off in Louisville. Louisville suffered a bad loss to SMU last week. Nonetheless, they are a very talented team, expected to be up top the ACC. This is another chance for the Hurricanes to check a box and pass the test. I think they will, even though Louisville's tough up in Louisville. We shall wait and see. Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez Jr. both expected to make their preseason debut tomorrow at 3:30 when the Heat host the Pelicans. I'm very excited for this game. Of course, you know I'm from New Orleans, but I live here in Miami. My two favorite teams going at it. I was very excited. I was like, oh, it's going to be nice. I'll get some tickets to the game. I'll run around downtown, have a few drinks. It's an afternoon game, so it's kind of early. And then all the excitement, I forgot to schedule off of work. And lo and behold, when you forget to schedule off of work, what happens? You get scheduled to work. Oh, okay. So now I got to remind myself to schedule off New Year's Day because that is the one time the Pelicans are going to be coming to town to play the Miami Heat. That is a New Year's Day game. Taking that day off. I hope I remember to take that day off. I am predicting this when it comes to New Year's Day. I don't know where the Heat are going to be and everything, but I'm predicting that the Pelicans on New Year's Day will be top in the West, top team in the West. I'm not saying they're finishing the season that way, but I do feel as though this Pelicans team can definitely start off hot, play well up until New Year's Day, and then the rest of the season, we shall wait and see. So it's an exciting one. Tomorrow, right here, 560 WQAM. Inter Miami's Diego Gomez has been named MLS's top player under the age of 22. Inter Miami, of course, they close out the season against New England next Saturday at 6. We're going to have Daniel Solana on later in the show. He's going to be talking about what's going on with Diego Gomez. We know that he is part of the Inter Miami team, but he will soon, and when he finishes up this season, be heading on over to England's Premier League. We got to find out what the future holds also for Inter Miami, not just for Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, but maybe some new additions to the team. Of course, last game they played, my man, Leo Campana got a big goal and lifted Inter Miami past Toronto FC. If they score and win in this next game against New England, they will be the all-time most points in a regular season by an MLS team. That record previously held by the 2021 New England Revolution. So maybe this incarnation of the Revolution said, this is our organization's record, going to try to stop them. It's going to be interesting to see. Of course, Daniel Solana going to be giving us the skinny and the breakdown on everything. The Marlins are said to be eyeing Cleveland Guardians bench coach Craig Albernaz as their next manager. Now, if you are hardcore baseball, you know stuff about Craig Albernaz. I'm not hardcore enough to know about the Cleveland Guardians bench coach, but I guess you have to trust in Peter Bendix. He has made a lot of moves. Once again, I said I'm going to reserve judgment. Some of the moves he's made have kind of made me scratch my head, but I'm giving him a chance. Presidents of baseball operations, they have a method. They have something they believe in. He's going to have some time to figure it all out, but we've seen a lot of Marlins players in the postseason that got traded from this team playing well, so we shall wait and see. FAU, they host North Texas tonight at 7. Other games of interest, Red River Rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma. That's going to be a 3:30 kickoff. Then at 7:30, it is going to be a Battle Royale down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as LSU hosts Ole Miss. That is a nasty rivalry. And then Oregon and Ohio State will also be doing battle. That's number 2 versus number 3 in the country. So if you're just a casual fan, you'd probably say Oregon, Ohio State, because, woo, those are some solid teams. If you like them good old South rivalries, LSU and Ole Miss. A lot of people from South Louisiana, for some reason, go up to Ole Miss for college. A lot of people from Mississippi come down to LSU for college. The two states don't really love each other. Two schools really don't love each other. Both teams really highly ranked. Whew, going to be an exciting one. I'm going to go home and cook tonight. I'm going to cook some Indian food, Panak player. And I'm going to just try to watch the game as I'm cooking and drinking. So check me out online at Dan Day Radio, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. I'm going to post videos. I start posting videos and then maybe a midway through update video and then the final result. Sometimes it ends in me eating a somewhat delicious meal. Sometimes it ends up with me having to walk to Pizza Hut and order food. Either way, pretty good. Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Speaking of that, the Minnesota Lynx were great the other night, defeating the New York Liberty 95-93 in overtime. That was on Thursday night. That was in New York. They lead that WNBA Finals 1-0. Game 2 of the best of 5 series is tomorrow at 3. WNBA has had a lot of good stuff happen this year. Now, this one's really exciting. You get the Minnesota Lynx upsetting the New York Liberty in the first game. Remember, it's only that 5-game series, so taking that 1-0 series lead is huge. Nonetheless, New York Liberty do have a lot of talent. Sabrina Ionescu is always great. Brianna Stewart, so good. Can't count anybody out in that. And if you didn't know, the U.S. men's national team, they take on Panama in an international friendly tonight at 9. Now, if you're saying, okay, international friendly, 9 o'clock tonight, what's the big deal? Now, remember, there's some bad blood between these two teams. Panama defeated the U.S. men's national team recently at the CONMEBOL Copa America, and the U.S., they had some issues. They had some slaps and punches and headbutts and all types of craziness going on. So there's a little bit of bad blood. What I hate to see is Panama beat us at the Copa America. We're going to go in there and rout them tonight, and it's international friendly and doesn't mean all that much. But what are you going to do? Might try to keep an eye on that while I'm watching the LSU Ole Miss game. Kind of got to keep an eye on my U.S. men's national team. They got the new coach. Try to see how they look. I do like the new coach hire, Argentinian Pochetta. See how that goes with the team. He used to coach my team Chelsea over the English Premier League. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that goes, U.S. men's national team. I always have these high hopes and these beliefs and this, oh, it's so good. And then they sometimes let me down. Sometimes they don't. I don't know. Never get let down when you go ahead and take a step into the day spa. Yes, indeed. My cousin Vladimir Lewis stuck in traffic, apparently I-95. People driving crazy. I was driving around Biscayne Boulevard yesterday, and it wasn't that crazy. No, traffic. Let's get to the day spa, though. While cleaning out his grandmother's freezer in Virginia, a man found a biscuit dating back 84 years. Okay, first of all, 84 years. How does something stay in a freezer that long? Another thing is, how has a freezer been around that long? I'm starting to question that a little bit. But what I really start asking is, what is the expiration date for me when it comes to eating things? Like, I've kept things in my freezer for like a year or two and then eaten them. I've kept food out overnight, 2 nights sometimes, eaten them. I guess I really don't have a particular time that I eat or don't eat food. I just kind of give it the old smell test, the eye test, sometimes the taste test, and I just kind of figure it out. Yeah, so I would not eat an 84-year-old biscuit, though. Anything that's that old, no. All righty. Sports Day with you till 4 o'clock. We've got a lot on the ballot for you. You can text in 305-567-0560. You can also check us out on YouTube and Twitch. That is live. Just put 560 WQAM in, and you should be able to find it. I'm getting some texts from all types of people saying, can't find the link. Just go to 560 WQAM on YouTube, and you should be good. We should be good this weekend. Guaranteed no losses for both the Hurricanes and the Dolphins. They are on the bye week coming off wins And what you think about those wins, whatever. A win is a win is a win. The Hurricanes, they were down. They came back. They won. People are saying, oh, they've been tested in ACC play. Well, we heard from Mario Cristobal earlier this week saying every ACC game is like a playoff game. You're not sneaking up on anybody. You're getting everybody's best game. As long as you win, you're fine. So the Hurricanes got a big challenge next week against the Louisville Cardinals. Very excited about that game. Of course, the Dolphins, they get by. Ugly game. They got the running game going towards the end. It seemed like Mike McDaniel starting to actually make adjustments. I know in the past we've kind of criticized him for not adjusting, looking like a deer in the headlights when his first options didn't work. Now he seems like he's adjusting a little bit against New England. He realized that he could kind of enforce his will in the running game, so he started getting the running game going. Alec Ingold blocking like crazy. Raheem Mostert back on the team. He was an absolute spark plug. Devon Achane in the concussion protocol, but that was okay. Jalen Wright, the rookie out of Tennessee, liked what we saw from him. Great running game from the Miami Dolphins, winning 15-10. I had no doubt once they scored that touchdown that New England did not have it in them to score another touchdown and win that game. They tried twice. They came close twice, but they did not get it. So the Dolphins feeling good. 2-3 going into the bye week. You get the Indianapolis Colts, who are not very good. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars last week. You go in there and you beat the Indianapolis Colts. You're 3-3 heading into the Arizona Cardinals game at home with the possibility and likelihood that Tua Tagovailoa could be back. And we've said this before. At the end of the Bills game, if you would have told me Tua will be back in a couple of weeks and you'll be at 500, I'd have said, I'll take it 6 ways from Saturday and twice on Sunday. Absolutely take that. Absolutely take that. Throughout the day, we're going to be breaking that down. Like I said, Daniel Solana going to be joining us from the Battered Herons podcast, talk some Inter Miami as their season gets ready for the second season. And then we're also going to be checking in with Alex, one of the managers at Funky Buddha. He's going to be our prognosticator today. We're also going to find out when Vlad gets here some of his bets. So, you're kind of on the edge of a few things, or maybe you need some advice. Maybe you need some guidance. Maybe you're not the strongest gambler in the world, but you still want to put some jelly on some games. You can listen to those two guys and kind of figure out where your jelly game needs to go for all the gambling. So very excited about it all today. Should be very good. Like I said, the Hurricanes are back in action 1 week from today. How have they done so far? I give them very, very high marks. How will they do the rest of the season? Well, of course, that remains to be seen. But Mario Cristobal told us, give me a little bit of time. I promise you it will pay off. And it seems so far in this third year that our patience some people lack their patience. Nonetheless, Mario Cristobal starting to come through. You got to figure he is. He's done it everywhere he's gone. He's been successful everywhere he's gone. He's got a system. He knows Miami. He is Miami. And then you never know. Playoffs could be in the cards. Pardon the pun, because they're playing the Louisville Cardinals next week for the Miami Hurricanes. Up next, going to do a little report card on those Miami Hurricanes. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Shop massive savings on a massive Chevy inventory, all backed by Morse at Ed Moore Sawgrass.
of any shows you might have missed.
Reach out, touch faith.
It is Sports Day on 560 WQAM. I am Dan Day. Hit me up on social media at Dan Day Radio. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whole 9 yards. I'll be doing some cooking tonight, and I'll be posting whether it is a win or a loss. So the Hurricanes and the Dolphins, they're on a bye week, but I am not. I could be posting a big L tonight. And when I'm in the kitchen, usually that's the case. So it should be interesting to check all that out. Of course, the Miami Hurricanes, they are cooking, 6th ranked in the country, 6-0, coming off a great comeback win against Cal. They have answered the call every single time this year. Mario Cristobal in year 3 has us all believing in the U. One of the main reasons. Cam Ward, can't lie about that. Cam Ward has been absolutely fantastic. Recently, Sun Sentinel writer Adam Lichtenstein, he wrote an article where he basically just graded out Miami Hurricanes and how they're doing. So let's start off with the obvious. Adam Lichtenstein gives the quarterbacks, our quarterback, an A+. Really, you can't argue with that. Cam Ward is a Heisman candidate. He has led this team. He has just been unstoppable. This offense has one of the highest rated in the country. Yeah, you got to give him an A+. Better than advertised. Cam Ward at Washington State last year had a good season, but the team wasn't exactly great. A lot of people wondering about him. No wonder about it. He has been absolutely great. He leads the nation in passing yards, 2,219, passing touchdowns, 20 passing yards per game, 369. That is 19th in completion percentage, 69.2. He is playing himself into being first round pick in the NFL. And what I love about Cam Ward isn't so much that he's good, which is probably my favorite thing about Cam Ward. He is a leader of this team, unquestioned leader of this team, but not just that. He's got the swag, but you talk to Mario Cristobal and you see other people around and they say he works harder than anyone else. And he's harder on everyone else too. He wants perfection. They coach him hard. He likes the hard coaching. He likes getting after it. We saw in the preseason, he was with Shedeur Sanders working out. Shedeur Sanders was worn out and hot. And Shedor's like, I don't live here. He's like, I don't care. I can go anywhere and play. We're going to keep going. And no. Talks a lot of noise, but he does back it up. And you can tell, although he's swaggy and he's crazy on the field, you can tell there's a lot of hard work and effort and preparation put into his game so that he can be swaggy and awesome on the field. So A+ right there. I agree for Cam Ward and the quarterback situation. When it comes to the running backs, actually a B- has been given. Of course, Damian Martinez coming in from Oregon State. He was over 1,000-yard rusher last year. He only has 292 yards this season. Hasn't been needed so much. Also, some of the comeback games like Virginia Tech and Cal, you have to air it out just a little bit more. Plus, you've got a Heisman Trophy candidate that is really hot right now in Cam Ward, so maybe that kind of hinders and slows the running game. I wouldn't give it so much a B- as maybe a B or a B+. I think it's been solid, and when it's been needed, it's been good. Of course, Mark Fletcher Jr. returned from a foot injury from the bowl game. He's back rushing. Jordan Lyle, he had a big breakout run the other night. He has been, for me, I think pretty darn good. Lyle's second on the team with rushing, 239 yards. He had that 91-yard run against South Florida. Lyle has 78 rushing grade. That is 9th in the ACC among freshmen. You got to like that. You got this freshman back. You've also got Damian Martinez, who's a more experienced back, and this team just keeps running and just keeps going. I give them a B+. I like the running backs on this team. Wide receivers. Adam Lichtenstein gives them an A. I have to admit, the wide receivers seem as though with a great quarterback, you do see a lot of better receiver play, but they've gone out there and catch passes. Y'all don't have to go any further when you say Miami receivers than Xavier Restrepo. He has been awesome. And a lot of people probably going into this season thought Xavier Restrepo, kind of a possession guy, kind of a slot guy. He is one of those guys that's playing himself into being drafted higher and higher. And Mario Cristobal tells us all the time, don't sit there and think he's a possession receiver. This guy is straight up fast, and he is a ball hawk, and he catches it. And, if it gets in his radius, and he's got a big radius, he's going to go out there and make that catch. Of course, he was all ACC last year. This year, he is right on the mark with that. He leads the team in receptions, 32 receptions, 585 receiving yards, and he's made some hard catches. And he has 5 touchdowns. I'm telling you, watch out. Xavier Restrepo is an animal that you have to keep an eye out. Also, Isaiah Horton, he's had a breakout year. He had some issues, missed some catches last year, but he's been very good. 31 receptions, 395 yards. He is great. Jacoby George, remember Jacoby George last year couldn't get out of his own way. Teams knew they could get under his skin. He would get personal fouls all the time. Somebody sat him down this year, maybe Cam Ward, and said, can't have that no more. Cannot be like that. Jacoby George, he has been antagonized, and I give him super credit, especially early in the season. A lot of defenders were antagonizing him, taking some swipes at him. In the past, he would have swung back. This year, just turns the other cheek, goes the other way, lives for another play. And that's been a big reason why I think, A, the offense has been better because you're not getting penalized 15 yards, but also he has been more zoned in and playing better. 290 receiving yards. He has 3 scores. So this wide receivers room, I'm giving him an A. It helps a little bit once again. Cam Ward helps your grades a little bit. He's kind of like a cheat code when you got a quarterback that's an A+, but give him credit. They're catching the passes. They're even making hard catches, and they're getting it going. So I do like the wide receivers, the tight ends. It is tight end U here at the U. They get an A grade, which I agree in. Elijah Arroyo, I think he's going to score every game. Every time I see him out on the field, I'm like, that guy is a weapon. Very, very good wide receiver for Cam Ward. He's just outstanding. He has 286 receiving yards, second on the team, 4 touchdown catches. Like I said, every time I see him out there, I'm like, he's going to get some catches. He's going to get some touchdowns. It just seems like he's a living, breathing, walking touchdown. He's also doing some blocking. He's a solid blocker. And Mario Cristobal, he wants that. He wants to beat you in the trenches because he knows that's where things go. Of course, what can you say about Cam McCormick? He caught the first touchdown of the year. He's in his 9th year in college. He's got tons of experience. Happy to have him. And of course, Riley Williams making some catches. And Elijah Lofton, he's been good on the field. 8 catches. That's a freshman, by the way. Another freshman on the team. 8 catches, 133 yards, and a score. So doing a little blocking, doing a little catching. Tight ends, once again, it's tight end U. You got to go with an A. Offensive line, given a B. I don't know. I've been very happy with the offensive line. Of course, you got Francis Maunoa. He is absolutely wonderful. 5-star coming out of high school. This is his 2nd year. He has lived up to all the hype that we thought about him as a lineman. It just seems like he's always in front of his man, controlling the line. He has not allowed a sack all season. Makes you very happy. New center, Zach Carpenter. We're a little worried. Matt Lee left last year after graduating, hoping the best in his future endeavors. But Zach Carpenter stepped up. He's done a great job. Of course, they're going to be tested against Louisville next week, but I think they're ready and able to step up. Offensive line of B, I'll sit with the B. I like the way they're playing, but, always room for improvement. It's got to be tough to be an offensive lineman because it's very thankless, and the only time people notice you is when you do something wrong and get beat. So offensive line, we'll give you a B. There's plenty of room to get better, but we know how good you are. You are pretty darn good, and that's one of Mario Cristobal's focuses, getting this offensive line, this team in the trenches, good to go. So we got to talk about the other trenches, the defensive line. Adam Lichtenstein gives them an A. Pretty good. Yeah, I think they've been an A- maybe. They've had some of their moments, but these lines always are going to have some of their moments. I think they would be higher graded if Ruben Bain would have played more. It was really scary when Ruben Bain barely played in the first game against Florida, had the injury. It looked like they kind of took their time. They didn't want to rush him back. Nothing wrong with that. Make sure you're 100% healthy. Having him back on that defensive line gives me hope that, look, in the future, this line will be more solidified when they've got Bain back there. He is just a monster. Absolutely love it. Of course, the main starting 4 linemen, Elijah Alston, Tyler Barron, Simeon Barrow Jr., transfer from Michigan State, and Akeem Mesdor have all been good. They've been good. And, you had Tyler Barron transfer from Tennessee. He leads the team with 7.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. That's what you want. 20 quarterback pressures, tied for 5th in the ACC. He's been in the backfield. He's been getting after people. Told you, Simeon Barrow, he has been a great defensive interior lineman, 17 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. Seems like some games he is just all over the place. And once again, things probably get even better when you get Ruben Bain back. Linebackers get a B+. Yeah, I mean, they've been good. You can't, Wesley Basaint, you can't knock what he has done. 27 tackles. He has been all over the field. He has made some huge hits. Gotta love every time you see Wesley Basaint in the screen because that means the U making some big plays. Of course, he had that big interception too. Very happy about that. Cornerbacks, a C+. quarterbacks, win some, you lose some. That's all you can really, really hope for. They've been the best they can be. There's been some spotty moments, but then again, that's it. And as the season goes on, there's more and more tape, and receivers and quarterbacks get more and more on the same page. So I'll be all right with them. Safety's get a B minus. One of those things you can grade it where you want to be, as long as it's not absolutely terrible. Mish Powell has been good. He's helped out after he transferred in. But for the most part, I think it's one of those things, as long as you're not getting terribly graded at secondary, I think you're pretty darn good. And special teams have been a B plus. Of course, you got Andres Borregales. He's 7 for 8 on the field goals. He missed one kick over 40 yards, but he's drained a 56-yarder this year. He's always going to be solid. Those Borregales guys are always good, always interesting, and always fun. Kick returning's been okay. Can't say anything too great about that. And overall, the coaching, give them an A minus. I'll go with A minus, because if you give them an A, definitely not an A plus, even though they've answered the call all year long. It seems like Mario Cristobal, he's got some continuity. You got the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator back. He's got his guys, quote unquote, in here. He's got the good mix of highly touted freshmen, but also some transfer portal guys. And he's got a good mix of youth and age. But the thing is, the talent wave continues to flow in. And for the people that say it's not the talent that you get, it's that you coach them up. Okay. There's no correlation between Georgia and Alabama always being good and always having one of the top recruiting classes. Yes. And for those that want to say Mario Cristobal, he's just a recruiter, not so much. Has he had in-game issues? Of course, but that's why you have a staff. That's why you have your team. That's why you put together the best team of coaches, just like you try to put together the best team on the field. Coaching this year has been good. I don't want to hear, well, we barely beat Virginia Tech. We had to come back against Cal. Those are ACC games. One of them out on the West Coast late at night. You still came back. You still won. Virginia Tech, first ACC game of the season at home on a Friday night. You answered the call. That's all you ask of your team. They don't give away national championships to teams just because they're pretty. They give them away because they win. And I was part of an LSU. I wasn't part of the team, but the year LSU won it with Les Miles as the coach. Absolutely ugly season for everyone. LSU had an ugly season, but they won the national championship. And guess what? No one can take that away from you. So hopefully Hurricanes just keep onward and upward. I believe in Mario Cristobal. Definitely believe in Cam Ward and the guys. Cannot wait for 1 week from now. They're going to be up in Kentucky playing Louisville. And it's going to be right here on 560 WQAM. Can Cam Ward continue to keep it going against, once again, a Louisville team that started the season very highly ranked? They fell to SMU last week. They've had a couple of issues, but don't let that fool you. Just because we're number 6 in the nation, Louisville going to probably give us all we can handle. But I think Mario Cristobal and those guys are up for it. Up next, going to get into what I like. Some of the things I liked over the past week or so, right here on 560 WQAM.
Football
the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Hurry!
It is Dan Day all day. My cousin Vladimir Lewis is stuck in traffic right now. Some crazy drivers on this weekend. Guess they figured it's a bye week for driving too. Hopefully he'll safely get here. And if you're stuck in the traffic, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to be here till 4 o'clock, living it up. 560 WQAM on your radio dial, the Odyssey app around the world. Big props to everyone listening around the world. And of course, you can watch us and listen to us around the world. Just go to 560 WQAM on YouTube and Twitch. I like that. Speaking of things I like, let's get into some of the things I liked over the past week, whether it be sports or just anything. I'm trying to feel positive, feel good. Everyone feels good when Alabama loses, except for the Crimson Tide Nation. And you know what? Tough you-know-whats to them. Vanderbilt goes in after the big win against Georgia, and everybody's saying, oh, don't sleep on Alabama. They don't have Nick Saban anymore, but they're just as good as ever. They beat Georgia. They were whooping up on Georgia. Georgia came back on them. They lost, though, to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt took them down and didn't just take them down. We're ahead most of the game. Alabama fans not very happy. And Paul Feinbaum, he's that Alabama guy. Don't really like him very much either. Nonetheless, the Alabama guy, he was on ESPN earlier this week, and he played back one of the phone calls he got after Alabama's demoralizing loss to Vanderbilt.
This is equivalent to coming home and finding your wife in bed with the neighbor. You could never trust her again. You might stay with her for the kids' sake, but you could never trust the woman again. And the same thing's true with Coach DeBoer. You can win a natty. We can't trust your ass now. You don't lose to Vanderbilt. That's the ugliest little sister on the block. You don't lose to Vanderbilt. You just don't friggin' do it, dude. The honeymoon's over, and we need some damn marriage counseling. Legend has left the damn building.
Graciano was crying.
Awesome. That was.
Let the record show Dan has slept about 9 minutes in the last 3 days. Paul, that was a caller named Legend, right?
Yeah, Greeny, he's actually representative of how Alabama fans feel. This is not an outlier. This isn't some crazy lunatic that we found in a closet. The Alabama fans had the highest of highs beating Georgia, and now they can't believe it. And they could have lost. You could have just picked a team in America, and they would have been happier losing to Mercer, Georgia State, Slippery Rock than Vanderbilt. And Legend said it all right there. You just don't do it.
That stuff right there is unbelievable. Number one, I love it because I love Alabama fans being just hurt and disgusted. Second of all, Legend, I love his style. Third of all, he might have some problems at home because he sure made a whole lot of bad marriage references, like his old lady sleeping with his neighbor, ugly sisters, all that other stuff. Legend, if you got some other issues, you don't have to call Paul Feinbaum. You might want to go talk to someone professional about that. But Paul Feinbaum, exactly right. That is how Alabama fans are. He is not some lunatic. I mean, he's a lunatic, but he is not some lunatic that's just speaking out of turn. That is how Alabama fans feel and act constantly. And if you are from the South, you know that. And you can't stand Alabama fans because they're like that guy, lunatic or Legend, whatever he wants to call himself. They feel so entitled. They feel like they're so great. But no, you lose to Vanderbilt. Coach DeBoer's got his work cut out for him, but you beat Georgia. You have the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. I just like to hear Alabama fans upset because that means they're losing or they're not winning the way they want. And you know what? You can't feel bad for them, just like you can't feel bad for the New England Patriots for decades. Unbelievable run. All of a sudden you hit a snag and, oh, you should feel sorry for him. No, nada. No, never will I ever feel bad for Alabama fans. Never will I ever feel bad for Cleveland Browns fans. No, actually, I do feel bad for Cleveland Browns fans sometimes because they ain't beating nobody. They ain't doing nothing. Chris Canty went on ESPN earlier this week and made a proclamation about this year's Cleveland Browns football team.
The Cleveland Browns. Their window is slammed shut, and it's because of one move, Deshaun Watson's contract, $230 million fully guaranteed.
The move that was supposed to pry that window open for years to come.
It slammed it shut. I mean, you're wasting a two-time coach of the year in Kevin Stefanski, and you are wasting the heart of Myles Garrett's prime.
Oh, that hurts me.
I mean, you're talking about a player that has lived up to expectations, the #1 overall pick in Cleveland. 4 straight years has been on an all-pro team. 5 of the last 6 has been on an all-pro team. You are wasting the heart of his prime, the late 20s. Like this was the best defense in all of football last year, despite having some of the worst quarterback play we've seen. It is absolutely unbelievable what the Cleveland Browns have done with a talented roster, but because of one controversial decision, a move to get a quarterback that you thought could be your franchise guy for the next decade plus, and in desperation of not being able to find that guy in years past, you did something that was unprecedented in NFL history. You gave him a fully guaranteed contract from which you can't get out from.
You're locked in.
It's locked in, and it is the anchor that is going to slam shut the window that you hope would be open to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely bad job getting Deshaun Watson to that guaranteed contract in Cleveland, thinking that would be the answer. Also, unfortunate for Myles Garrett trying to find his way out of there somehow. But this is the thing that I want to make point of. You got to give kudos where kudos are due. So often we're saying, oh, Chris Greer and the Dolphins make mistakes. Dolphins did go after Deshaun Watson, but did not get Deshaun Watson. Dodged a bullet right there because a lot of teams kind of wanted his services. It seemed like the Dolphins did. Dolphins eventually didn't pull the trigger the way the Cleveland Browns didn't try to match that, and it ended up working out to the Miami Dolphins. So kudos for the Dolphins, whether it was intentional or not, with Chris Greer and with Deshaun Watson. Kudos to them for not getting him, because I think everyone agrees Deshaun Watson is not the answer. Got the answer for you maybe in New England. Is it time for Drake May, the 3rd overall pick from last year? We saw the first 2 picks, Caleb Williams, and of course, my dude, Jaden Daniels, balling out this season. New England will start Drake May this Sunday, tomorrow. There was talk about it earlier this week. Dan Orlovsky, Marcus Spears, Big Swagoo from LSU talking about why Drake May must play or maybe not play.
You guys know me. There's a couple things I always say. Young quarterbacks need to go play well and survive. They need to have a really good scheme and play caller. Alex Van Pelt, I like his scheme. There's been moments when he's shown to be a good play caller. Still unknown. Really good offensive line, really good skill players. Again, New England has at least 2 of those 3 missing. This is not the right choice.
Dan, I would love to analyze, but more so I want to ask you a question based on what you just said. So with what you just pointed out, what's the thinking? What's the thinking behind putting Drake May in?
I don't know. The thinking is maybe that their offense performs a little bit better, and maybe his athleticism can make up for some of the offensive line deficiencies. But that's my concern, fella. You know, like, are we just putting him out there to run for his life?
Oh, you got to play Drake May. I don't care what anybody says. You can't put him there fitting for his life. He's a 3rd overall pick. That's what he signed up for. Not like Caleb Williams, not like Jaden Daniels had the best lines in the world. If you're a New England fan, you drafted him 3rd for a reason. To sit there and say it's not fair to him, well, it's not fair to the fan base, it's not fair to the organization to sit there and keep playing Jacoby Brissett, who even the Dolphins had figured out last week. Everyone's figured him out. He's always been that guy. So, yeah, you got to play Drake May. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays and how he does. I'm very excited to see. He probably will be running for his life. They don't have the best offensive line, but once again, that's what you sign up for. And if you're a fan, you're very happy now that you're getting a chance to see your 3rd overall pick, who the first 2 were really good so far, 3rd overall pick, have at it. Kind of a sad day in the tennis world the other day. Rafael Nadal, one of the greatest of all time, says he's going to be retiring at the end of the season. Today's current #1, Yannick Sinner of Italy, kind of said that's tough news.
Well, it's a tough news for, I think, all the tennis world, and not only. That what I can say. I was very lucky to get to know him also, like persons wise, and he's an unbelievable person. Of course, the player, we all saw how good he has been as a player, and the lessons he taught us, the young players, how to behave on the court, how to handle situations on the court, the tough situations. He gave to all of us a lot of emotions when we saw him playing, and also to stay humble, at the same time, not changing with the success, choosing the right people around him, having a great family, and there are so many great things he gave to all of us, and obviously it's a tough notification, but in the other way, everything has a beginning and it has a start, and also an ending. So it's only he knows how he feels.
Yeah, that's great right there. It's tough to see that Rafael Nadal will be retiring pretty much what he says due to injury, but man, it's been a great career. So it's time to celebrate everything that Rafael Nadal has done for tennis and just for the world in general. He seems to be a pretty nice guy, pretty cool guy, and always very nice with the media. So kudos to him. Much love right there. Yannick Sinner seemed a little heart palpitation right there. Maybe cutting onions. Vladimir is here. We're going to get the second hour of Sports Day going for you next here on 560 WQAM.
Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text line at 305-567-05.
For 500 lock. Caneswear in Davie has the largest selection of Miami Hurricanes merchandise in town. Dolphins gear too. Canes, Dolphins, Inter Miami, Panthers, Marlins, they've got it all. Caneswear, University Drive in Davie or online at caneswear.com.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are going to need a bigger cake.
Now through October 20th, get fast, reliable 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $30 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract with free Wi-Fi equipment included. And ask how to get an eligible free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
Fall is the perfect time to experience amazing at JM Lexus with amazing offers on our full line of 2025 Lexus models featuring big discounts on select inventory. And JM Lexus saves you even more with no dealer fee. We have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, plus a 4.8 Google rating with over 20,000 reviews. Experience amazing this fall, only from JM Lexus.
When you pick Lexus.
Hour 2 of Sports Day coming to you, and Vladimir Lewisson is in the building. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on in 95, bro.
Yeah, I heard it was nasty.
It was nasty out there. Traffic galore, trying to get off 119th Street. You know, I took the Gratney from the pond from 75, and then boom, just nothing. You know how bad traffic is? You know when everybody's trying to like get on the shoulder, the right shoulder to just driving. That also became a lane.
Man.
That I was having conversations with people left and right because that's how close we were.
Goodness. I mean, I wasn't excited of getting up at 7 in the morning and coming here, but at the same time, also, I'm excited not to get stuck in traffic, man. Oof.
Nasty work, bro.
Nasty work. Have you been watching the Netflix docuseries Starting Five, starring one of our very own Jimmy Butler, Vlad? Have you seen any of it yet? I know it just came out on Tuesday, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, Thursday.
I'm gonna start watching. You know, I've been going through things, so you know, I haven't been really watching anything right now. So, but trying to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, but I've heard nothing but good things about the show. I hear that Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum back and forth is very interesting. Bron is Bron.
Yep.
But I hear that a lot of you South Florida fans. I'm a Jimmy fan, but a lot of you I'm not a Heat fan. But a lot of you Heat fans and South Florida fans of Jimmy Butler may need to take some of maybe angst and criticism of him because he was going through some things.
Yeah, so I watched the first 2 episodes. It's kind of light on Jimmy Butler, and it's not always even the best look of Jimmy Butler, I think. You can tell that they really don't care to focus as much on him. The first episode was more about Tatum and, of course, LeBron James. You can expect LeBron James throughout to be highly visual because he is one of the executive producers of the program. So he's kind of like the narrator / host of the docu-series. Jimmy was kind of going through some things. It seemed like they didn't really, on the first episode, show a lot of Jimmy. I thought there was going to be a lot more because he is a very, I wouldn't even say controversial figure, very attractive figure to watch.
Entertaining.
He's a very entertaining figure with the coffees and everything else like that. He did not come across as great. Not bad, just not great. Anthony Edwards came across fantastic in the second episode. He is as charismatic and as fun to watch as anybody. And I understand they're giving you what you want to see from Anthony Edwards. There's more to the story than that. It was interesting. It's entertaining. I'm 2 episodes in. I like what I see. I like the kind of courtside stuff. I don't know. Domantas Sabonis is just a dude. It's more about his dad than him so far in this documentary.
Oh, listen. I love his father.
His father's awesome, bro. You gotta.
His father was this. His father had NBA players shook.
Best player that could have been. If he could have ever gotten out of that dumb contract over in Europe and actually got into the Portland Trailblazers.
He was so good
before he lost both knees.
That even when his health deteriorated and he finally came to the league, he was still like top 5 center in the game. And he was like 36.
Kevin
38.
Garnett said, so I walked in. I've never seen this. Arvydas Sabonis is sitting in the locker room smoking a cigarette. Clyde Drexler, better than him. Charles Barkley, better than him. He was just naming players and smoking cigarettes and saying how he was better than everybody. But Domantas Sabonis seems like he's just a dude. Like, you can kind of tell they're trying to work him up a little bit, but he's kind of just a dude. Anthony Edwards is great. LeBron is LeBron. He's done it forever. Jimmy, I didn't think they dove too deep into it. Yeah, they did talk about how he was kind of going through some things. And then Jason Tatum, he kind of talks about the pressure of we have to win every game. If we lose, I'm always the one to blame and stuff like that. Well, he won the championship, so I don't think anybody really cares. But it's worth a watch. I've been entertained for the most part, but so far, through 2 episodes, it's about LeBron and Anthony Edwards, and I guess rightfully so. So if you get a chance, take a view of it. Jimmy Butler is featured in the first episode, not really featured so much in the second episode. I also watched the Ali Wong new comedy special. Oh, I went and also saw The Joker. Woo! The reviews are real.
You liked
movie,
it?
No, man.
You didn't like it?
The Joker movie?
Oh wait, okay. So I don't. All right,
so both.
Let me first tell you, I've never seen either Joker movie.
Watch the first one. Do not see the second one.
But I've heard 2 opinions. I've heard great opinions of it, and I've heard bad opinions of it. Where does my cousin Dan Dave lie? Where does he fall?
I started feeling sorry for the movie like midway through it. No real excitement, no plot development, no relationship development really between Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. It turns into a musical at some point, but it's like Joaquin Phoenix singing. There's a courtroom scene or 2, but they're not like compelling, like fun courtroom scenes. There's not a lot of action. The end is really bad. I felt bad for the movie. And like people are like around me, like leaving in the middle of the movie. People are asking me, like, you really want to stay for this? I'm like, I paid my good money for this. The only reason I stayed to the end is because I paid, and I stuck around the end to hear if people were going to say stuff, and people just seemed demoralized at the end of it. So I felt bad for the movie. It wasn't that bad. And people were like, no, it was that bad. It's not worth paying to see. I'll just put it that way. And I watched the Ali Wong new comedy special, and I don't know if the games passed her by or what her material was, but it was not as laugh out loud funny as she's been in the past.
Kids.
It might be the thing. But the thing is, her old stick in the past was making fun of her husband and her relationship. She doesn't go after her ex-husband because, if you don't know this, spoiler alert, her ex-husband is her tour manager now, and she says they're still best friends. So she makes
know what? You can't really make jokes. It's like The Rock. The Rock's business partner is his ex-wife.
And now Ali Wong is I want to say Bill Hader is her boyfriend. She has some funny moments, but yeah, she's dating Bill Hader. Oh goodness, Ali, you can do better.
Bill Hader, who's that? Isn't that
He's a comedian?
No. Wait a minute.
Ali, you can do better. I'm sorry, but I don't know, man. Maybe it was just the end of the night. I was kind of, not in the mood for it, but I was trying to. Man, it just wasn't great, man. And I love it.
Oh, come on, Bill Hader's. Come on, man. He's one of the best out there. Come on, man.
All right, no, I'm just saying,
dude. He was what's the what's that name? What was the show on HBO?
I don't know.
Barry.
I would say, oh yeah,
Barry. He was great.
I would say I don't watch a lot of TV yet. All I've talked about is TV for the past 10 minutes.
I love Barry. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but yeah. So Vlad, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You can DM me at Dan Day Radio. Let me know what you thought about, or if you don't see Joker. Seriously, Vlad, when I say Joker, I will tell you, wait for it to come out on a stream service because it's going to come out on a stream service very soon because it's a bomb.
You know.
Okay. So if you're going to watch it out of hate or out of like seeing how bad it is. Do not get excited and watch the movie. Definitely do not pay to see that movie.
Okay.
And then Ali Wong, watch it and let me know if you think, you don't have to, but I'm saying.
I love how Daniel Day says, don't support the Joker by, spending your money. Save your money.
Right.
I love that.
At Dan Day Radio, send me a message and tell me why maybe the Joker Folly Ado movie is better than I think it is, and why the Ali Wong new comedy series on Netflix is better than I think it is. And so far, to be determined on starting 5. I haven't seen a lot of Jimmy Butler in it, so I really can't tell, but it's pretty entertaining. Let's get to some updates and scores real quick around the college football atmosphere. Alabama has taken a 14-0 lead on South Carolina. Clemson beating Wake Forest 14-7. These are all early scores, of course. Missouri playing UMass. That's going to be a blowout. Missouri leads 21-3. UAB Army and Navy having a good season, by the way. Army's up on UAB 27-3. There's talk that if Army and Navy win out and then they play each other at the end of the season, that winner could either go to the college playoff or both teams could make the college playoff. Interesting. Buffalo leads Toledo 7-0. Washington, Iowa. Ooh, that's a tricky one right there. It's tied at 7 right now. Ball State, Kent State. We played Ball State earlier this year. They're beating Kent State 17-7. Georgia Tech and North Carolina both 7-7, and my Wisconsin Badgers beating Rutgers 14-0 with about.
Wow, you're beating the Fighting Chianos.
I know. 5:27 left in the second quarter. Let's get some more headlines, Vlad. You missed the first half, so
let me know.
Get you caught up to date. Panthers, they take on the 0-3 Buffalo Sabres tonight at 7 o'clock. Alexander Barkov suffering from a lower body injury and is questionable for tonight.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing, bro.
It looked bad.
It looked nasty.
But do you like this, Vlad? I mentioned this in the first hour. You like how hockey, they're just tough guys. Like, he has a lower body injury. Is he going to play? I don't know. They don't say nothing.
I will say this, and I have to give credit to our the great host of the pregame and postgame and intermissions, Kevin Rogers. He said it looked like a quarterback. The Barkov injury looked like a quarterback in the NFL who threw a pick six, who threw an interception, and is now trying to run back and tackle the defender, the cornerback, or whoever, the linebacker, whoever intercepted the ball, and makes a diving attempt and hurts himself. It's one of those there, like, you don't really have to do it, but I understand you're trying to win the game, but it's the second game of the season, Barky. We can't lose it for that long. Like, let it go.
Save some of it for the other 80 games.
There's 80 more games to go. So that was the perfect analogy, I thought, that K-Rod said.
Well, tonight, 7 o'clock. Hopefully they can get it going against a team they've owned, and a lot of people have owned over the past couple of years, the Buffalo Sabres. We have got Major League Baseball playoff elimination baseball right now.
Ahora.
Game 5, Cleveland Guardians, Detroit Tigers, 0-0 in the first inning.
Now, here's a question.
You know who they get when they win?
Yes.
The New York Yankees.
The Bronx Bombers.
You know who's also in the NLDS or NLCS?
Yeah, the Doyers and the Mets.
Mets and the Dodgers. That's big time right there.
You got to give Major League Baseball credit. We've been saying this all week since last Saturday. They could not have picked a better 8 teams to be in the postseason.
Well, they didn't pick.
Oh, I mean, well, you know what? You're right. Well, sometimes.
Well,
they're scripts. They're scripts. They could not have had 8 teams better to represent the country and Major League Baseball than having the Dodgers, Padres, in the NLDS, but you also had Milwaukee, You also had Atlanta, so that the South was represented. Houston was in there. The South was represented. You have the Midwest with Detroit, Kansas City, and Cleveland. And then you had the East Coast with the Phillies, the Mets, and the Yankees. Like every part of the United States was, represented, or fan bases were represented. So now that, look at your Final Four, you have LA and New York. You got the top two markets.
Right, with all the stars.
With all the stars. So you got Dodgers, Mets, great rivalry. Go back to 88, Kirk Gibson or Hershiser. You know what I mean? Mike Scioscia hitting a home run off Doc Gooden, extra innings, game 4. That was hurtful for the Mets. And then you got the Yankees, and then the Yankees Guardians have been always a great rivalry. Sandy Alomar hitting a home run in 97 off Mo. Could, kind of stunted the early dynasty of the Yankees, but actually led to the 3 in a row that we won after that, 98, 99, 2000. And you got the Tigers. Nobody cared about the Tigers. All of a sudden, Detroit is like a sports.
They won everything.
Bro, Detroit's a sports capital of the world. It's one of the sports capitals of the world. The Lions were in the NFC title game.
The Pistons are in the NBA Finals.
Never.
Okay.
Michigan is the national the champions in college football. You know what I mean? And you got the Tigers, who nobody cared about, making the playoffs.
Making that run.
1 win away. And they got a hell of a pitcher there who might win the AL Cy Young. Skirball, I think his name.
Yeah. Speaking of baseball, the Marlins have said to be eyeing Cleveland Guardians bench coach Craig Albernaz as their next manager. Just throwing
Notice that we're eyeing managers, we're not eyeing players.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I told Peter Dindix, you got a little more time, but come on, man. Come on. Of course, the Dolphins and the Canes both off this week. They have a bye week. They will return next weekend. Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez Jr. expected to make their preseason debuts this year. That's going to be tomorrow, 3:30 actually, when the Heat host the New Orleans Pelicans. Inter Miami's Diego Gomez has been named MLS's top player under the age of 22. Inter Miami close out the season against New England next Saturday at 6. We're going to have Daniel Solana on in the next hour.
Yeah, I need to know what's going on. Why do they have a break all of a sudden?
It's an international break because Messi and those, not just because of Messi, but international for international.
Did they just have an international
That's
break?
all we have in soccer. There is
Did they
international.
take an international break in September? In late August,
They
September?
keep doing it, man. Look, you got to get these international breaks, man. That's what you got to do. FAU host North Texas tonight at 7. Other games of interest: Texas, Oklahoma at 3:30. Then 7:30, LSU, Ole Miss, Oregon, Ohio State. That's nice.
Well, we got some great games tonight.
That's gonna be fun.
But I have a problem. I was watching Game Day as I was getting ready to come here, right? And they have Herb Street. He was in Oregon because obviously Oregon's hosting Ohio State tonight.
2 versus 3.
2 versus 3. But he's doing the Oklahoma Texas game at 3:30.
That dude.
Why was he even in Oregon in the first place? Can they just not do a remote? Like, can he not just do a remote?
Yeah, take the week off, man.
Not even take the week off. Just what's the point of him flying from Seattle to Oregon wasn't that bad. He did the Thursday night game, so it was pretty much close. But what's the point of having him in the set on set for College Game Day for 30 minutes, and then he has to take a flight from Eugene, Oregon to Austin, Texas?
Makes no sense.
That's ridiculous.
Real quick, a couple of other minor or lesser notes, at least, that we don't always cover here on 560 WQAM. Are really, it's still much love, though. Minnesota Lynx did defeat the New York Liberty 95-93 in overtime Thursday.
That was a hell of a game.
They lead the series 1-0. Game 2, best of 5 series tomorrow, 3 o'clock.
You know what's happening next season, right? In the WNBA.
I'm guessing that they're going to expand the playoffs. They're expanding teams too.
Mike Guzan Smart. They are expanding the finals from 3 of 5 to 4 out of 7.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the last year of the,
that's how much
the 5 series.
We're watching the league grow in front of our eyes, to be honest with you.
It took a while, but
it's growing.
It's growing.
Okay, tonight, U.S. men's national team takes on Panama in an international friendly starting at 9 o'clock. I was saying this thing has juice because remember what happened last time these two teams met?
That was in the Copa.
Copa America.
Yeah.
And Way decided to act a fool and get kicked out of the game, and Panama pretty much eliminated us in our own country.
Oh, wow. That was 6 months ago, right?
Yeah. Now watch, we'll win 100-0 tonight. And
Is all our guys playing?
No, never.
The major guys?
No, never. But Ponchetta is going to be coaching for the first time, so that's exciting.
All right.
With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. Portland, Oregon police pulled over a man the other day and found a bag in his car.
Of what?
It said on the bag, it said definitely not drugs.
Definitely drugs in there.
Definitely drugs, guns, and everything you could imagine in there.
What was
Yes.
it? What kind of drugs?
Oh, we're talking cocaine. We're talking pills. There's even a pistol in there, an unregistered pistol in there. Definitely not drugs.
All right. Well, he's a dumbass for putting that note on the bag because I'm gonna look. Whether I'm a cop or not, I'm definitely gonna look because now you got curiosity. Now, if there was
they're gonna
no-
check any bag.
No, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter. So you see something, it's gonna alert you. If you see a bag that says definitely not drugs, I'm definitely looking to see if there's drugs. Now, if I'm a good patron, I want to make sure that there's no drugs in there because if there is, I'm not gonna get in the vehicle. If I'm a bad patron, I want to see if there's drugs in there because I might take some.
His girlie probably thought it was real cute to buy him that bag because he was a drug dealer.
I'm not blaming this on his girl. I'm blaming this on his stupidity.
Okay. Blame the man.
I'm not blaming this on his girl.
That's a bad way to hide drugs.
That's just terrible.
Bad way.
Dumbass.
We're going to talk about good and bad next. We're going to do a little prognosticating. My guy Alex from Funky Buddha going to be here. Maybe look into some of Vlad's bets and see if we can't get everyone on the right track because it's another busy weekend despite the Hurricanes and the Dolphins not playing. Betting world never stops. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Listen to all of our shows live or on demand. Plus, there's the cool Rewind feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed anytime. Get it now and make WQAM your favorite station.
The Dolphins and the Canes might be off this week, but the gambling world never stops. And I'll be the first to admit I am not the best gambler in the world, so I need a little bit of help. And Vlad's a good gambler. Why not bring in a prognosticator? Bring in someone who maybe knows a little bit more than me, not just in sports, but in the world in general. And that is my guy, Alex Blunt. He's one of the managers over at Funky Buddha in Oakland Park. I see him every Monday for trivia night. He's there pretty much every day, all the time. He knows beer, he knows food, he knows mixed drinks, but he also talks about sports with me and his prognostications. Not 100%, no one is, but sometimes he's pretty darn good. Vlad, we're going to have to get you out on a Monday night of Funky Buddha, man. You know, it's always a great time. They're one of the sponsors for the Hawk and Crowder show, and we love having them in. So, Alex, how you doing today? Let's see. We have you muted right now. Let's see. Do we have you have audio? Let's try it again, Alex. Trying to get this live radio going.
Hear me? Hear me? Hear me?
You have your microphone muted on your end.
Let me see.
Okay. Your screen is cleared up. If you're watching online right now, you see Alex. His screen is cleared up. Vlad has you mic'd up and on. He can hear us. Do not hear. Do not hear.
Can you hear me? No?
So Alex is a prognosticator. We can get him from Funky Buddha. He's going to be managing today. I did see that. So try to get some of his picks and get it going. And right now, we don't have any audio from him. Let's see. Oh, mute mic. Anything on your computer? Anything possibly on your computer?
Let me see.
Okay, so apparently I'm hearing that you're being heard, but Vlad and I can't hear, right? Am I correct, Vlad? Okay, maybe if I unmuted my microphone. Oh, no, mine should be muted. So I'm hearing listeners can hear, but Vlad, you cannot hear. Am I correct?
No.
Okay. So let's see if there's something. Do you have something on your computer or laptop, Alex, that might be muted?
Let me take a look. Don't think so.
We just run around. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
Vlad's been stuck in traffic. Alex has been stuck. At least we're hearing that they can hear him on the line.
What about now? What about now?
Okay.
Wow, that's interesting.
Microphone. Yeah. How is he being heard on YouTube and Twitch?
Right, but I can't.
But we can't hear him through the board. That's interesting. Very interesting. I'm not a IT technician, but I try to play one at the radio station because there's always emergencies, and it's one of those things that we can try to figure out. All right. Well, Alex has everything right. He got everything right. So hopefully listen to his advice. We're going to try to get you back on in just a little bit, Alex. We'll talk to you in just a minute. We'll try to work something out during the commercial break. Vlad, Dolphins, Canes this week, taking a bye week. It's probably a good thing, especially for, I would say for both teams, because number one, the Hurricanes, they've had some very testing games over the past two games against Virginia Tech and, of course, against Cal. That huge comeback, that was unbelievable. Cam Ward has been fantastic. The Dolphins need to try to get healthy in some way, shape, or form. Devon Achane, do you expect him back? I expect him back. I think you do the week in the protocol and you come back. Javon Holland, I don't know what to expect from him because, like we said, Vlad, Devon, it should be interesting what happens with Javon Holland because Javon Holland last year, remember, he got hurt. He sat out for a while. Apparently, he was able to come back and decided his body wasn't ready to go. All right, I'm going to try to get Alex back. Let's see. Alex, I hear you.
You hear me?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. So Alex
Awesome.
Blunt, he's one of the managers. He's always at Funky Buddha. He's always serving up the greatest beers, mixed drinks, and food. Trivia on Monday nights. Alex, I wanted to bring you in as kind of a quote-unquote celebrity prognosticator because you're a celebrity in my eyes. Anybody that runs a brewery is a celebrity to me. And the Vlad, of course, is good at the picks too, but some of our listeners need help, and I can't help them. I'm sorry. I do terrible.
I love parlays, Alex. That's what I love to do.
I do too. They pay nice, but they're hard to hit. That's the only problem.
Oh, I know. There's nothing worse than hitting. You have a 17 parlay or 7-game parlay, and 6 of them hit, and you
miss by one.
Oh,
That's how they get you.
You missed by a half a point. How about that?
That's a killer. That's always a killer.
No betting on it. We got to get Vlad out one of these Monday nights to Funky Buddha for some trivia, have some good times and good food. But Alex, let's start slow. Give us maybe 2 of your bets this week that are pretty easy bets you should be able to hit on.
All right, I'll give you guys the rundown. I have 2 pretty safe picks. First one is going to be Pittsburgh money line against Cal. That game is at 3:30
Like
Eastern
it.
Standard.
It's 2.5 Pitt, right? It's a 2.5, but you like the money line.
I like the money line. It's safe. You can take the spread. Pitt is sneaky good. They're averaging 45 points per game. Their quarterback Eli Holstein, he's third in passing in the ACC. The only two quarterbacks he's behind are Cam Ward and Kyle McCord from Syracuse. They have some pretty quality wins. They beat North Carolina, West Virginia. They came all the way back against Cincinnati. I think they were down like 21 points in that game. Came back and won. Cal coming off just that crazy game against Miami. That's one of those losses that that keeps you up at night for a while. You're up 25 points against the number 8 team in the country at home. College game day is there, and you blow it.
And then you got to fly cross country.
And then you got to go all the way to Pittsburgh.
Undefeated Pitt. I'm not gonna
and-
lie to you. This is set up. This really is set up for Cal to lose.
And Pitt's offense, man, they are just rolling. They have a good quarterback, a good running back. I can see this game being high scoring. Ultimately, I think.
I was about to ask you that. I was like, do you like the total over in the total?
I like the total. I think Cal is going to score, but ultimately, I think Pittsburgh 38-28. I think they win by at least 10 for sure.
All right, what else you got, Alex?
Second, I know there's a little bit of a heavy juice on this one, but BYU money line against Arizona. That one is at 4:00. BYU, a team this year, weren't really projected to be ahead in the rankings like they are right now. Their defense and their run game really is the heart of that team. They've held 4 of their 5 opponents this year to under 15 points. And they've scored 30 plus in 4 of their 5 games. Their quarterback, Jake Retzlaff, he's not going to make those crazy throws. He's not going to break a bunch of tackles. He's not going to scramble around in the pocket, but the guy knows how to win football games, and they just keep proving it. Their running back department, they're very much running back by committee. They've had 6 different running backs with at least 12 plus carries this year. So they got some talent in that backfield. I think this is a low scoring game. I think BYU's defense and their run game, it's kind of going to be one of those grinded out type of games. I think they win about 24-17. You can take the spread. I think the money line is a little bit safer. But that's what I got for you in the college football world today.
Vlad, do you have anything safe that you're betting on today, you feel?
Well, I like Pitt minus the 2.5. So the fact that he liked Pitt and the over, we were both in.
Here we go.
We're both in unison about that.
So it's a done deal.
Done deal. Lock it up.
It was already wagered before, but it just.
I love it.
Sometimes when you hear somebody and they kind of like confirming the same belief that you had, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely going.
You need that reassurance sometimes. For sure.
Absolutely, you need reassurance in that. I like that. I'm looking at the Ohio State-Oregon game. I like Oregon here. I really do.
I do too. At home, Dylan Gabriel. I mean that I've seen that kid make some plays where I just shake my head. I mean their offense is high powered. Being at home, I think it's close. I think it's going to be a classic. But I do like Oregon as well.
And I also like. This is gonna make Dan proud. I have to have my cousin happy. I like LSU against Mississippi State.
You guys are some dangerous gamblers, man.
Hey, man, this is a big game for your coach,
Brian
Kelly, and Ole Miss. These last 2 weeks haven't looked impressive at all. They lost one, and even though they won last week, that offense hasn't looked the same. And I think LSU, your quarterbacks look pretty impressive over the last ever since that loss to USC. He's looked pretty good. So I like that game. I also like the over in that game a little bit because I think LSU can put up some points on Ole Miss. So those are the games in college that and one more over. I always love late night action.
Oh, let's do it.
Colorado, Kansas State.
It's a good one.
That's
Alex, give us maybe 2 more that are a little more not as easy breezy.
I have a couple tomorrow in the NFL world. Is going to be the Ravens Commanders over 51.5. Those 2 teams the Ravens are averaging 29 points a game. Commanders averaging 31 points per game. The two quarterbacks in that game, Jaden Daniels, obviously looking like the rookie of the year, best quarterback coming out of that class.
LSU.
Lamar Jackson every week has a play where I just shake my head and wonder if any other quarterback in the league can make a play like that. He is incredible. Their defense, though, has been a little bit suspect. You saw what the Bengals did to them last week. Joe Burrow, 5 touchdowns, 400 yards, an absolute shootout. I think the same thing is coming in this game. Jaden Daniels leads that team down the field, and they score. Whether it's field goals, touchdowns, they score. They score whenever they have the ball. And, I think, Derrick Henry breaks a couple big runs. Lamar throws a couple touchdown passes. And I think Jaden Daniels competes with that defense as well. I think it's a shootout. Ultimately, I do think the Ravens squeak it out at home. I'd say 31-27 Baltimore in that game.
Me and Alex got to hang out because I agree with you. I'm actually going to look for a prop bet in this game. Can I combine the rushing yards of both Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels? Because I think that's going to be a key. Both of these guys are elusive quarterbacks who can throw in the pocket, but they're very dangerous when they outside the pocket and they get yards.
I like the over on that.
I like if there's like an over like 80, 85 yards combined, like both of their yards.
A lot, huh?
No, that's not because Lamar's going to get you 45 easy, and Jaden's been getting you
that's part of their
40 to 45 yards.
That's part of their game.
He does. They do drop a lot of design runs for him, especially in the red zone. So he's running the ball probably 10 times a game. So
and another thing, like Alex said, it's crazy, but Baltimore now their identity is more on offense than it is on defense.
They have a good run defense, but their pass defense obviously
they're
is
not
terrible.
The same defense. They haven't been the same defense, I think, really since Wink left. And if you look at it, their defensive coordinator from last year is now the head coach of Seattle, and their assistant defensive coordinator is now the defensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins. So it's like their third year with a new defensive coordinator, and it just seemed like they're not clicking as of yet. So I like the over in that game a lot, and I like if you want to do a player prop bet, see if you can get a combined rushing yards of both Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels.
Very nice. Alex, what else you got?
Leading into player props, I actually have a player prop for you guys. What's the best thing about football? It's watching someone score a touchdown. That's why we watch. I have an anytime touchdown scorer this week. It is in the Detroit Lions versus Dallas Cowboys game at 4:00. And it is Jameson Williams. That guy is so fast and so explosive. It takes one play for him to score. This game actually has the highest total of the week. I think there's going to be points. And I think they find Jameson Williams on a deep shot down the field. He's seen a downtick in targets from weeks 1 and 2, but I just given his explosive playability, I think he's fine in the end zone. That Detroit Lions offense is fun to watch, and they spread the ball around. But I think he scores, and I think he scores early. I think he scores in the first half. So,
all right, now give us a hard one. Give us one that maybe is not so easy breezy.
My hard one is actually a parlay. I know Vlad likes the parlays.
Ooh,
I got a 5-leg NFL parlay. It's about to get a little weird, but we'll roll with it. So $100 bet on this parlay brings back $2,567.
That's a lot of Funky Buddha.
It's a tough one. My first leg is I know people aren't gonna like this. It's the Jaguars money line in London at 9:30 in the morning. Rookie quarterback Caleb Williams travels to London. He's been playing better over the last 2 games, but Jacksonville's offense showed something that I haven't seen in the first 4 games of the year last week. Their running game improved. They had a big deep shot to Brian Robinson, and I see them squeaking it out. I don't trust the rookie quarterback going overseas to London. So
I disagree with that.
All right. Well, that's the first disagreement we've had.
I like the Bears. I like the
All
Bears
right.
defense confusing Trevor Lawrence, even though they've been putting up points, but they give up points as well.
True.
I like the Bears defense a little bit more than I like Jacksonville. So I got the Bears, but Jacksonville on the money line.
And they're used to playing in London.
They do play in London quite a bit, but
second leg.
So next leg is going to be the Cardinals +5. They're getting 5. Again, an offense that showed me something. I know they didn't do. I mean, they came back and won against the 49ers. Kyler Murray shows me flashes of brilliance every once in a while where I'm like, is this guy good? Is this guy in that top tier of quarterback? He's good. James Conner, he's good. He runs the ball. Their defense plays well at times, and I don't know. I see them. I don't think they win. I think they cover.
See, I like him. I like Alex Vick, but Arizona's. You know what Arizona is? Arizona's like that girl, bro. Like, no, because I'm gonna tell you this why. Beginning of the season, I liked Arizona. I liked them when they went against Buffalo. I even liked it when they played the second game of the season. Who they beat? They beat a team bad. I forgot. I forgot who they beat, but they beat that team bad. And then so you want to believe in them because you saw how they played last season. I'm believing again in the Marvin Harrison, Kyler Murray thing. And then
they break your heart.
Detroit. Then they break your heart. They lose to Detroit. Then they get their ass kicked by another team, and then you're like, I'm done with them. And then the minute you say you're done with them, you see that they play the Niners, and then you're like, damn, they do play the Niners pretty well. But I'm like, I'm done with them. And then they beat the Niners. So now they're gonna go to Green Bay, I believe. They play Green Bay tomorrow, and it's like you really want to take them. I wish the line was a little bit more. Like if it was like +6 or +7, I definitely would take Arizona. But I could see a situation where Murray's at the end of a game either driving them, they're down 6, and he's driving them to score a touchdown and an extra point to win the game, or he might turn the ball over. So that's tough one. +5 is tough.
All right, third leg.
Third leg is going to be Texans -7 against New England. Rookie quarterback Drake May making his first start. I am not a Drake May believer. I just don't see it from him. Obviously, you have to start him. Jacoby Brissett's not getting it done. The fans are getting restless. But I think that Texans defense eats him alive tomorrow. It's his first. Yeah, and their offensive line has some struggles as well. So that's
terrible.
No Mark Andrews. They have 2 rookie tackles, I believe, like 2 young tackles, and then you're going against Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter.
It's just a recipe for disaster for the Patriots, I think.
However, Alex.
No,
we gotta say this. Any spread this year that's been 5.5 or more,
you're right,
has not hit. Like the favorites have not hit. The underdogs have always covered. Any spread that's 5.5 or more, like over 80%, has not hit.
I have seen that trend. It's due to lose. Everything points to the Texans. I can't trust the rookie quarterback. I can't. Historically they don't do very well in their first starts. So I got to go with the Texans. They've looked good. Beat the Bills last week. It was a close one. But I think they roll.
All right, let's get your fourth and fifth legs real quick, Alex, for the Gambling Nation.
Fourth leg is going to be the Colts money line. I'm a Joe Flacco believer, man. The guy is an ageless wonder. I don't understand how this guy comes out and plays this way every year. Every year as a backup quarterback. It's insane.
I can tell you, Alex.
I know why. Yeah, we have a theory.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
He doesn't want to spend time with his family.
Listen. For the love of the game, I get it. He loves football.
No, but like he probably sits down and then he hears the kids
and he's like,
no, around. Here's the wife nagging. It's like, I got to get back. I just got to get back with the guys.
Put me on the field.
Yeah, just put me on the field. Any shape, any way, any matter. Just Just put me in. I'll hold a clipboard. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's not gonna play good. I'll be back in.
He's gonna come in. He's gonna throw for 300 yards and make some more money.
Doesn't want to spend time with his family. That's the only way you'll play that well.
And what is the fifth leg you have for us, Alex, in this 5-leg parlay?
Fifth leg actually goes back to one of my previous picks, the over in the Baltimore game. I actually like the Commanders +7. The way Jaden Daniels has been playing, keeping them in games, scoring, I think that's too many points, even on the road. They've looked good. I know the hype is on them. The hype is on Jaden Daniels. But like I said, I think this is a shootout. But I think the Commanders cover. I think this game is closer than the line indicates for sure.
So we got Pitt on the money line over Cal, BYU on the money line over Arizona, the Baltimore-Washington game over 51 points, an anytime touchdown for Jameis Williams in that Detroit Lions game, and then the 5-leg parlay, Jags money line, Cards +5, Texans -7, Colts money line, and the Washington Commanders +7. Vlad, you got any other bets for us?
Nah, I'm good, man. I like a lot of the bets that Alex had. I definitely love the college bets with Pitt money line and the over in the Pitt California game.
That's Alex Blunt. He is one of the managers over at Funky Booty. He's going to be working there today. Monday, I will see you there for trivia. We'll be seeing if you're breaking people's arms or if you're going to have your arms broken. So
put them in a headlock. My favorite day of the week. My favorite day of the week is Mondays because of Dan Day.
And now Vlad, we're going to have to get Vlad out there too one of these days, man.
Yes, sir. You got to come out, Vlad.
I will. It won't be this Monday though, but I will.
Whenever. I'm there every Monday.
Alex, enjoy work today, and we're going to be keeping an eye on your bets all weekend long, and we're going to have you back on to see how everything went.
We'll follow up. Let's make some money, guys.
Much appreciated. That is Alex Blunt from Funky Buddha. Vlad and I going to come back, keep it a buck real quick here on 560 WQAM.
rewind feature to go back and listen to any part of any shows you might have missed.
Can't be scared to death. Can't be scared to look. Can't be shook. You know why? Glad. There's no such thing as halfway crook. You're right. Scared to death. Scared to look. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Time to keep it a buck. Glad and I going to go real quick, tell you what we're going to keep a buck 100%. I'm going to do this. I'm very glad, keeping it a buck, that you have a lot of confidence in my LSU Tigers tonight hosting Ole Miss in Tiger Stadium at 7:30. I'll keep it a buck. I'm very nervous.
I know you are. I know you are.
I'm very nervous about this game, man.
I know you are.
I mean, once again, it could go either way, but it just seems like Ole Miss, even though they haven't been playing well lately, they just kind of have that it factor. And LSU with Brian Kelly, big games sometimes. So not the most confident guy in the world. Vlad, what do you want to keep a buck?
Hey, man.
Vote yes on 3, vote yes on 4. Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm just looking at TV. I know you want to vote yes on 3.
No, it's not even that.
Sorry if I distracted you from what you really want to talk about.
No, you know it is. I know they mean well and everything like that, but keep it a buck. In a funeral, don't tell the family member to be strong.
Yeah.
Like, they know that. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have any, here's the thing. And I know people mean well.
No, absolutely.
Okay. I recently lost my mother. And everybody's coming up to me. It was like, oh, you gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. And it's like,
what were you planning on being weak?
Exactly. Like, yeah, like I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
I'm going to be emotional.
Of course.
I'd rather you not say anything.
Right. I'm very guarded with what I say to people. Like when someone's parents die, like, for example, your mother, I don't say, oh, I'm so sorry. I always like, well, what are you sorry about? You didn't do anything. I just, my condolences. If you need anything, so I'm here to support you. But yeah, don't say, stay strong.
Right. Like I didn't go around telling everybody, because it's like, I know you guys want to say the right things and you feel like it's the right thing to say, but I'm a person with intent. And if I don't really mess with you, or we don't like mess around and you find out and you're telling me, oh, my condolences, I know it's the nice thing to say, but do you really mean it? No, you don't. You're just saying it just because you need to say it. Didn't need that at that time. But yeah, I understand, and I'm thankful for the well wishes and everything like that. But don't tell me what to do.
Think before you talk.
Right. Just don't tell me what to
do. Like, my mom raised me better to not shy away in tough moments. I got this.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? My mom built me for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My dad built me for this. We're sad.
Yeah.
But don't be strong. Like, no, come on, man.
Nah.
So yeah,
I understand.
I keep in the buck. Like, yeah, don't tell people when they're mourning to be strong.
Yeah, I agree. Can't top that. Come back, get you caught up with everything going on in the sports world here on 560 WQAM.
Sports lives here. WQAM Miami, WBOW HD2 Miami, KIS HD2 Boca Raton, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to have the good Solana on. Daniel Solana joining us, talking about Inter Miami and what could be a historic season for a couple of reasons. We'll dive into that. Also, the U.S. men's national team going to be playing Panama tonight. They're quickly rising high on my list of teams that I hate, Vlad, when it comes to international soccer. Of course, you know, Mexico and the U.S., no love lost there. Panama's climbing up there. Well, wait and see about all that. Nonetheless, Daniel Solana's going to get caught up with everything going on with that. We've got Major League Baseball action. Game 5, the two sweetest words in baseball. Not really. Game 5, but
elimination game.
Elimination game between
Do or die.
the Guardians and the Tigers. Guardians loaded the bases. Infield pop-up with 2 outs. So it's still 0-0 as they are into
Top of the fourth.
Top of the fourth. TBS doing a good job of updating the inning that you're in. Okay. Got some college football going on right now. Of course, we're taking a break after, last week was, I'd like to say last week was exciting. The Hurricanes game was very exciting and very late.
Fam, did you stay up and watch the whole thing?
No.
Okay, I did.
I got caught up doing other things.
Yeah, that usually happens. But yeah, dude, they got to relax with that, man. They got to relax with this 10:30 time, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
On the West Coast. And then, of course,
but
the Dolphins
why am I complaining? I could double up my parlay with the Hawaii game.
You know we love Hawaii.
I love that Hawaii. That
11:59 kickoff. I like the shameless 11:59 kickoff.
I love it.
It's officially on Saturday.
But you know what I love about it? You can make a 3-team parlay. So like tonight you have Kansas State, Colorado. Then you probably have a Hawaii game. I'm not too sure if Hawaii's playing, but more than likely they're probably playing at 11.
Probably one of our favorite teams. Yeah.
And then
remember, I think they're
they have a bye this week?
Oh no, they're playing here as they would say stateside.
Oh, they are playing it in the mainland.
Yeah, Boise State. 11 o'clock.
Oh, we got an 11 o'clock Boise State. Boise State against Arizona, right?
But no, Boise State, Hawaii, 2 of our favorite teams.
Really? Okay.
Because we got Genty.
BYU is playing Arizona.
Yeah, we got Genty, who is the Heisman.
Yes, ICM, baby. One of our fellow Haitians. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Gentry's the favorite for the Heisman.
Yes,
right
he is
now.
the favorite, right? He's the
Surpassed
betting
Cam
favorite.
Ward.
Yes, he has surpassed Cam Ward, who is now 3rd in betting.
They said he has like 683 yards after contact, and that would make him the 6th. He would lead the nation. He would be 6th in rushing in the nation, just of yards after contact.
Man.
So yes, you could do a 3-team parlay. You could do Kansas State, Colorado, Boise State, Hawaii, and then the Jacksonville, Chicago game at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Ashton Genty, by the way, that is something that I might want to stay up with, and I might just even bet on. I might hit you and Alex up from Funky Buddha and find out what I should bet on this, because Boise State's exciting with Ashton Genty, and then of Hawaii, we got to keep our eye on them because they're always the team we chase our bets with. 11 o'clock tonight. That's not bad.
I love it.
That's not bad at all. You didn't think you tune into Miami radio and hear us getting excited about Boise State, Hawaii, but you heard it right now. Very exciting. Very good. Of course, LSU and Ole Miss tonight. That's going to be exciting. Oh, Oregon, Ohio State. Come on.
Those are 2 great games, man. And they're both going at the same time?
Exact same time. 7:30 kickoffs. Yeesh. Oh, by the way, South Carolina's pulled ahead of Alabama 19-14. Rose is falling off the bud there for old DeBoer. Not the best look right there. Although that South Carolina team is not bad, and we're gonna have this playoff baseball that's going on right now. The Detroit Tigers. It's gonna be a good story no matter what, lad, because the Yankees are a worldwide brand. Number one, they've got some big time stars that are fun to watch on their team. The Dodgers, big time brand, worldwide known. They've got some big time stars. One Shohei Ohtani, especially, that plays over well in the Far East. Then you got the Mets, New York City. They're a good story. And then either way, whether you get the Guardians or the Detroit Tigers, you want the Guardians because they're the longest drought of any team that's won a World Series.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's great that you're saying all of that. That's beautiful, man. I love it. It's touching. Major League Baseball wants Dodgers, Yankees.
Oh no! But
or
I'm saying
Mets, Yankees.
I'm
That's
saying
it
for the final 4 teams. It's good because everyone that doesn't like the quote unquote big markets are East Coast, West Coast. If you're in the quote unquote flyover states, you can pull for either Cleveland or Detroit.
Yeah, but nobody. Yeah, Major League Baseball doesn't care about that.
No, Major League Baseball wants Dodgers, Yankees.
or Mets, Yankees.
They would like Mets, Yankees, but they really want
No, they
Dodgers.
really want Dodgers, Yankees.
Because then you get both coasts and you get Shohei Ohtani and you get everybody, Juan Soto and
Aaron Judge
and Giancarlo Stanton. Oh, the Savannah Bananas played recently right there at Lone Depot Park. Because I was hanging out before the storm, and Nathan was like, "You think we're gonna have Savannah Bananas at Lone Depot?" I go, "Absolutely. This storm's not affecting us." Yeah, but would that look insensitive? I go, "Trade off Luis Arias. That was insensitive." Yeah. When you trade off Sandy Alcantara next year, that's gonna be insensitive. Go ahead and let the Savannah Bananas play.
You think that's gonna happen?
It already happened.
No.
Oh, come on, Vlad. You just couldn't trade damaged goods. I think there might actually be a moratorium against that you can't trade damaged goods. So that's the reason why it wasn't traded. Yeah, that will probably happen. Damn. Yeah. And he took a hometown discount. Oh, man, it was just one of those things. Yeah. We're getting, I would say neither here nor there, although, man. Yeah, I do see that this Peter Bendix, man, he's trying to build the team his way, See how that goes. Panthers, they take on the 0-3 Buffalo Sabres tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on 560 WQAM. Alexander Barkov suffered a lower body injury against Ottawa. He is questionable for tonight. Man, those hockey dudes, bro, they put a Band-Aid on it and they go out and play sometimes. So you never know. Remember Matthew Tkachuk in the finals? The other year?
He played with a busted spleen.
They literally had to take his uniform out of his locker so he couldn't go out on the ice because he wanted to play on it. Okay.
They're different.
Those guys, man. And they make the least of like all the sports.
No, they make some good money now.
Of the major sports.
They make some good money now.
But not.
They make some good money.
Dodgers defeated the Padres 2-0 to advance to the NLCS. They're going to be playing the Mets. Right now, you got a 0-0 game between the Guardians and the Tigers.
Let me tell you this. Nothing is better than postseason baseball because that's when you really see who's a real great manager. Because there are times, during the regular season, if a pitcher tells you, "Skip, let me in," and you're gonna be like, "All right, I'm gonna trust my guy here."
Mm-hmm.
Not here, bro.
Nope.
You down 2-0 immediately. You getting the hook. Go to the bullpen.
You don't listen to your pitcher what he says, and also analytics. Throw those out the window too, because analytics and playoffs do not always match. Nonetheless, and if you like intensity, watching postseason baseball, especially now that it's getting into the championship series, every pitch. You have to hang on, man. It is intense and it is fun.
Absolutely. Like you understand, like it's not
162 game season anymore, baby. It's like tonight.
Like today, right now, you see and you appreciate the low scoring.
Mm-hmm.
You appreciate the low scoring, but anytime you get a guy on base, you really want to get that guy over. You're proud of fundamental baseball, like sacrifice bunts, getting the runner over. Like you just want anything just to get a run because scoring is a premium in the baseball right now in the postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting. Tyreek Hill keeps online posting reassurance to Dolphins fans that he's staying in Miami amidst some rumors that he could be headed back to Kansas City. I don't know why he posted a picture of him and Patrick Mahomes back in the day after a touchdown, putting like this was a special connection. I don't know. Miami on a bye. They play.
Yeah, bro, you just putting it out there. If Kansas City starts needing something, this is what's gonna happen. Kansas City, as long as Kansas City still win, they're not gonna need Tyreek.
Nope.
But the minute they lose, and it's a game where their receivers aren't doing what they need to, they double team Kelsey, then they're gonna the media is going to push the narrative that Kansas City needs to get a number one wide receiver to help Patrick Mahomes. And then that's when the rumor of Tyreek, because we still don't know, even though we feel that Tua's coming back in the next couple of weeks, we don't know that for sure. It's not,
nothing's guaranteed.
So therefore, he's putting it out there as if, Dolphins, I still want to be here, but remember those days, man? Like remember them days? That's like when cats used to like Facebook post pictures of their ex and reminisce.
Okay.
That's
I just see it as more like this. I'm happy here. I love it here. But if things were to go south,
That's what I'm
here,
saying. Reminiscing. You reminiscing.
things were to go south here, and Kansas City need a little help, and maybe help a salary cap or do something. Let's do what's best for everybody here.
Look, if I could put beef to the side and squash beef with my ex, should I go to lunch
with her?
Mm-hmm.
Vlad, no. You're gonna do what you want to do. Don't get me wrong, but no.
But if you could put beef aside, you could put. You know what I'm saying?
Is she paying?
Well, she's the one that offered it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It was after, after everything was going on.
Right,
So,
I understand that. But call me insensitive, but no. 6th-ranked Miami Hurricanes, they're of course on a bye week. Their offensive stats are some of the best in the country.
But defensively, the last couple of weeks,
it's been a little rough, but they play 1 week from today at noon against Louisville. Now, on my college days, Vlad, I said at LSU, I love a good 8:30 kickoff, something late at night, because I can tailgate and party all day. Now that I don't party and tailgate like I used to, I don't mind a noon kickoff.
I love the
Get
noon.
day
You know what I
going.
love about the noon kicker?
Get it going.
You get going immediately. I hope there's a.
I wake and what? I was going to say something else. I wake and watch. Let's just put it that way.
Well, definitely it's wake and bake. That's a wake and bake when the minute you get up. By the time that's gonna be wake and bake time. But wow, 9 a.m. getting drunk. That's crazy.
Never done that?
Not to get up to get drunk at 9 a.m. immediately. Maybe around 10:30, 11, I'll get to the tailgate and get wasted. But 9 a.m. I still kind of want some breakfast.
Driving up here to the radio station at 7 o'clock this morning, I saw two guys that were obviously on vacation and had an Airbnb, and they had their wife beaters on, their swim trunks on, and they were drinking out of a opaque cup. And I was like, that's an early start, man, even for me. 7 a.m. opaque. Meaning
opaque? Okay,
you can't see through it. It's obviously a red Solo cup or a styrofoam cup at 7 a.m. Man,
either you still continuing because it's got to be a continuation. Because if you're getting up and you're getting drunk like that, we got to talk.
Well, I mean, you're not gonna make it to noon.
I don't know. Maybe they will, but still. I like the 12 p.m. Louisville start, and it's
once again tricky wicket,
and hopefully the weather's a little bit like this, a little overcast. It's not hot at that time.
Yeah, well, Louisville
not rain. I don't want no rain.
I don't know what Louisville's weather is going to be like at that time, but
I don't want no rain. But I don't want it to be hot because it's been hot a couple of these.
Well, no, it's in Louisville.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I forgot.
I was wondering about your weather expertise.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. No, you're right. The next home game is Florida State. All right. Yeah.
Come.
Louisville. Good. All right. Cool. Noon.
Louisville's a good city, man. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not trying to hype it up or anything. I've been there a couple times to host a reggae music festival, and I've had a lot of fun in Louisville. So if you are making the road trip, hit me up. I can tell you some of the high spots and low spots to get to. Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez Jr. expected to play tomorrow, 3:30, when the Heat host the Pelicans. Got the game, the pregame, the postgame right here on 560 WQAM. Inter Miami, they're also on a bye week, international bye. They play New England next Saturday at 6, and Daniel Solana going to be joining us in just a minute. But right now, what we have to do is take a step into the day spa. A 29-year-old woman who claims to be a vampire, in fact, her name is Vampire Helly, says she is a real-life vampire. In fact, she casts spells on people, eats bloody foods, and wears a cloak every single day.
Relax.
Would you date a girl like that, Vlad?
As a vampire?
That says she's a vampire. And eats bloody food and puts spells on people.
Eating bloody food now.
The bloody food and the cloak doesn't scare me. It's that she could cast a spell on me. And with the way I act in relationships, she's going to cast a spell on me.
You ain't eating no bloody food with me.
I'm just steering clear.
I don't eat bloody food.
I don't eat food with blood in it unless it's like an orange or something.
Period.
But I don't like the spells, man, because they cast a spell on you and then things start getting weird. You know what I mean?
What if they put a spell and make you eat something bloody, some bloody food? That's nasty work.
Yeah, but that could be a lot nastier of a spell, I would think, right?
What kind of spell are they gonna put on you?
I don't know. I don't want to.
What kind of spell are they gonna cast on you?
They cast on like everything goes wrong for you, or
that's just life. That's just being in a relationship.
Well, yeah, that's the spell every woman puts on you when you get into a relationship.
Cast on yourself the minute you say, "Yeah, you're my girl."
Did you cast a spell on me? Well, I mean, you did commit to this relationship. Why is everything going wrong? Why have I been aggravated? I don't know if it was a spell. So
when you enter that magical land, you're casting a spell. A spell is casted on you. It's your job to get out of it.
I always love people. Love my relationship. Greatest day of my life. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like, Come on now. Come on.
Here's a funny thing I love. When people are like, man, I want to get out of it. And then the next day later, like 2 days later or whatever, they when they're outside, they're like, man, I can't understand how you guys are outside, man. No, I'm going back home to my family. Yeah. Well, the minute you made those commitments and you life, with that person, you live with that person, you lifing with that person, it's over.
Life is so much easier.
Single.
I know.
You answer for no one but yourself.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, I told you earlier, if you don't agree with me saying that the new Joker movie is bad, or if the new Ali Wong comedy isn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, I don't need you to DM me and tell me I'm wrong, because it is much easier. Much easier.
Hey, man.
Happier.
Like Hove said, it costs you nothing to pay me no mind.
There you go. Exactly. Now I'm going to pay some mind to Daniel Solana. We missed him the past couple weeks. We haven't been on as much. But in Inter Miami, they're making that push for that MLS Cup. They've already qualified, if I'm correct, for the World Cup of club teams. That's going to be in next year in New York City. Hopefully Inter Miami will be there also. We're going to see what's going on with him next here on 560 WQAM.
I said, tell me what's really going on.
It is that time of the week. We get Daniel Solana in here, the good Solana brother, to not just talk soccer, but just talk about everything that's going on in and around the sports world. Daniel, I have a few questions for you right off the bat. Want to get to it. Inter Miami, final game of the year, 1 week from today, New England Revolution. They've already clinched the number 1 seed. They have something to play for, though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They got the points record to play for, and none other than against the defending point champion New England Revolution, who are going to be missing one of their top players, Carles Gil, who picked up a hamstring injury and he'll be out. So that's some good news for Inter Miami going into that game. Now, I've been a big proponent of really not caring about getting the points. To me, that's not a big deal. I was just about getting the supporter shield. That's already done. And I'm more about keeping the team healthy. So, but this team is deep, fellas. This team is deep, and they've shown that with the absence of the stars here and there. Overall, Messi for a couple months, and they held up their end, and they continue to do so. They hit a rough patch of a few games of some draws, but they got the big win that they needed against Columbus. That was the signature win of the 2024 MLS campaign. And now they have, the points record. So, guys, what do you think? Do you go for it, or do you rest your players? I think if they rest them, they can still get it. But, do you just throw everybody into the oven like they say?
When do you start? When does the playoff MLS postseason start?
It starts October 25th. So Inter Miami will play Friday, October 25th, because obviously the scheduling guys got smart and they noticed that there was a Canes FSU game on the 26th, and there's another big sporting event, I guess, in Miami also on the 26th. So they didn't want to have folks choosing, which game to go to or whatever. So the MLS scheduling folks and Inter Miami were allowed to schedule that first playoff game on Friday, October 25th.
And Daniel, remind us how the playoffs are a little different this year in MLS.
Yeah, so the first round, it'll be best of 3. Where normally it was either best of 2 or knockout. So now first round will be best of 3. So if Inter Miami were able to pick up a win on October 25th on that home game, and they go ahead and pick up a win on the next game, then it'll be over. But of course, if there's a draw on the next game, then they'll have to play a third game. A draw or a loss, they'll have to play a third game to decide the winner of that series.
And then after that, it's knockout round.
After that, it is knockout round until you get to the final.
Do you like this new rule? Like, it's almost like you're turning into the other 4 major sports when you have a 2 out of 3. Basically, you're telling the team they got to win twice, but then the next round just a knockout round. Like, so is it both home and visitor? They both play home and away, and then
it's home, penalty? Away, and home. No, home, away, and then they'll come back for the third game home.
No, I'm talking, but
you're talking about it'll be. I assume it'll be home and away, and then if it's still tied at the end, they go to extra time and penalties.
And then when it goes to the knockout round, Vlad, the higher seed will have the home game.
Correct. The second home game.
Inter Miami technically only has one more road game this year, no matter what.
So in the knockout round, both games will be played in the top seeds stadium, or is it just one game and that's it?
It's just one game. It's knockout.
That makes no sense.
No. It's 2 games. It's 2 games. So the first game will be played at the lower seed stadium, and the second game will be played at the second seed stadium. So that's how the rest of the format will be. It'll be.
I didn't know it was home and away. I thought it was just one game.
No. It'll be home and away. So and then the only game that is knockout will be the final.
Okay, so it's best of 3 in the first round, then it's aggregates the next 2 rounds, and then it's a final, and then the highest seed gets a home game in the final.
That's correct.
Okay, just Inter Miami, just keep winning. That's all you got to do.
Now, all I'm saying is just weird. Why does the first round get the 2 out of 3, but then the more as the rounds continue, you lessen it? That's just weird.
I know why.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong. Inter Miami has qualified for the Club World Cup by winning the Supporters Shield, meaning they've won the MLS regular season.
I mean, I don't know that they really qualify, guys. Let's set things straight
Good. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so that we get things straight again, I'm reviewing and I want to correct myself so that the listeners and the folks watching also get it right. It is a single elimination win or go home conference semifinal and conference final, hosted by the team with the higher seed. So you were right, Dan. I was wrong. It's only that first round that is a best of 3 series where the higher seed will host game 1 and game 3 if needed. So now getting back to the Club World Cup and Inter Miami. Yeah, let's be real, guys. They didn't really qualify for anything. They were given this, this I guess honor of representing the MLS because there was really no precedent made as to why who would go, and of course some FC Cincinnati fans thought they would go because they were the active Supporters Shield winners. Some Columbus Crew fans thought they would be selected because overall they've had the better season in getting to the CONCACAF Champions League final and also being the active MLS Cup champions. But Inter Miami goes ahead, wins the Supporters Shield. Now MLS or FIFA has a reason to say, hey, we're going to give it to them. They won it. But, if I'm a FC Cincinnati fan, I'm saying, hey, why not us? So, I mean, I agree that both and many fan bases have a gripe to pay with FIFA or whoever selected Inter Miami. But are they deserving? Absolutely. They're 100% deserving. Are they the team who's going to draw the most amount of folks? 100%, fellas, 100%. And that's really what this is all about. I mean, Gianni Infantino and the FIFA are really trying to sucker some more money out of the rest of the world. And, we're going to pay for it. We're going to buy it. We're buying it, guys.
I mean, think about it, Daniel Solana. If, let's see, Inter Miami gets a draw against, Barcelona or Real Madrid or even a Man City, or maybe South America, you go to like a River Plate or your team Nacional in Uruguay, that's a big ticket.
Absolutely. And look, they'll have a chance to do that because, now that they've learned that they've qualified, I'm sure they'll put some extra money into the team, into, reinforcing that back line, which we know has been probably the weakest point, and maybe picking up some other, maybe big name players along the way, knowing that they're going to compete in this, this tournament next summer, and it's going to draw a lot of eyes. So if you are able to scrape out a tie against a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, realistically today, I'd say that's not going to happen. But if they do get the team, the team together and get the right folks in place, and they're able to do that 100%, that's going to draw major eyes onto the team, especially coming off of this tour that they just went on, and they got basically blown out every single game. I mean, I think they lost one game 6-0 or 6-1. They tied another team. So, I mean, obviously, and those were Team Asia and the team where Ronaldo plays at. I think it's Al Nassr. Yeah. So, I mean, now you're talking about playing against Man City. You're talking about playing Real Madrid. These are other level teams, and even a River Plate, even a Flamengo from Brazil. I mean, these are just big name teams. So if you can show that you can compete with them, then it becomes a big deal and it becomes really good for the MLS.
All right. So 9 teams in each conference make the playoff in the MLS, right? 1 and 7, then 8 and 9 have to play. Whoever wins will be the team that's facing Inter Miami. Am I correct?
That's right.
So between Montreal and DC United, who does Inter Miami want to face? And does DC United, that's the other thing, will DC United play strong next Saturday, knowing that they have a wild card game and that winner gets to face Inter Miami again? Like, you're not going to show your hand in case you got to face this team again in later on next week, correct? Am I wrong, or am I just overtaking my head? Because I mean, they have another game. Then this, even though next Saturday, the 19th is their final game, they have a wild card game. I would believe would be what, the 22nd.
I believe so. Yes.
So how heavy are you gonna go when you have another game to play in order to face the same exact team?
I mean, it's tough to go out and kind of say you're gonna throw a game, right? But yeah, I think if you're DC United, you 150% have to protect your players and make sure that they're gonna get as strong as possible to that wild card game. And I'm not looking right now at the standings, so I don't know if they're already locked into the wild card or
No,
not.
yeah, because
They're
there's
locked
only
in.
30, they're
Yeah.
34 games, and
Okay.
Toronto FC finished their 34th game, and they only have 37. They only
Okay.
have 37 points. So it's DC United versus CF Montreal. That's going to be the wild card game, and because they're both with 40 points, Toronto FC at 37. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you if I was Inter Miami, I'd prefer to face most likely Montreal because DC United has right now the Golden Boot in Christian Benteke, and he's been on a tear lately. He's been scoring a couple goals a game, and Miami's back line is their weakest spot, and has been their weakest spot. Although, look, I need to mention the great games by Noah Allen that he's been having, one of the homegrown players, a local guy from Pembroke Pines, played in Pines United, and we actually had a charity event with him a couple weeks ago with a buddy of mine, and he has a company and he hosts these charity events with professional players to put on clinics, and a hell of a guy, Noah Allen, and he's having a great season coming back from last season, and he's getting his opportunity. So look, Inter Miami, their back line is weak, but they also have some pieces that are coming together at the right place. So look, man, it's tough, guys. I think either team, Montreal, DC United, me personally, like I said, I prefer to face Montreal, but either team is going to put up, a tough fight, knowing that you're playing against the GOAT and, his three best friends.
Yeah, the other thing too, probably not going to see so much of Sergio Busquets next week. He's on the yellow card. If he gets one more yellow card, he'll have to miss the first playoff game, and there's no way you're going to risk that, I would hope.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. You're definitely not going to, take any risks on missing any players from that first playoff game. So I think Inter Miami, although they have the points record there, out there, and I know a lot of fans want the points record. I understand it. Look, even if Tata Martino goes with an alternative lineup, we've seen, even with an Ian Frey playing instead of a Chelo Wigan, he's been a stout defender. Whether he plays, right back, or whether he plays a right center back, or whether he plays in the line of three, Ian Frey has been fantastic. So look, if he goes with an alternative lineup, I'm still confident that they can beat New England Revolution and get the points and go in healthy into the playoffs.
And real quick, kudos to Diego Gomez of Inter Miami, named the top MLS player under the age of 22. He's going to finish this season, right? But then he's off to the Premier League with Bournemouth. Am I correct?
He's going to finish this year, but he's going to Brighton.
Oh,
wrong
Brighton.
team.
Okay.
Wrong team. I know you have Bournemouth on your mind, Dan. I know that there's a connection somewhere there, and there might be some free tickets somewhere over there. And I know you promised me to take me. So if you get those free tickets to Bournemouth, take me. But he's going to Brighton. So, which I think is a great move, both for him, player, and for the club, for Inter Miami, because they're making some cash out of here. And I'm excited to see who they're going to replace him with.
Oh, it's going to be great. Speaking of international soccer, the U.S. men's national team in action tonight against a team that I'm starting to really hate, Panama. But you got the new coach, Pochettino. Excited about that?
I mean, I'm not a huge U.S. men's national team fan, but look, I am excited for Poch. I think he unfortunately he didn't do well when he was a manager over at PSG. He had his kind of shining moment when he was managing Tottenham. And although he never really won anything, I think he's a good coach, and I think he could be the right fit for the U.S. men's national team. I still think they should have held out for a bigger name. But if there was anybody else that was out there, of the names that were, within the U.S. men's national team coaching pool, I think he was the best name that they could have got.
A couple quick questions for you, Daniel Solana. Do you like Pitt on the money line over Cal tonight?
I was listening to the segment earlier, and I'm kind of upset, Dan, that you don't invite me to trivia night. And I wanted to ask you, what kind of trivia do you do at trivia night? Because I'm a big fan of trivia. Huge fan of trivia. Absolutely.
General trivia, just all over the board every night of the week somewhere, man. You come on out, we got you taken care of, especially at Funky Buddha. That's always you're a Solana, so your name holds a lot of weight at Funky Buddha.
That's what I hear. But getting back to that, I do like Pitt over Cal on the money line, absolutely. But I would just prefer to take it, minus the 2.5 if it was minus 2.5.
Right, Solana. No, come on, Daniel. Like, just take the 2.5.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you this too. Also, are you going to be wagering on the game that we're excited about at 11 o'clock tonight? You get our favorite Hawaii. They're not the Rainbow Warriors anymore in Boise State. Just a little chaser at the end of the night.
I am going to get a little wager on that game. I'm throwing my money down on Boise State.
Absolutely.
I like that Ashton Genty, man.
Haitian.
Now,
Haitian native, baby.
I got a question for you guys. I want to know what you guys think the odds are on my brother Alejandro Solana breaking the fast before 5 o'clock when he's supposed to.
He's been texting me all day.
So we have nearly 2 hours and 19 minutes left. I think he breaks the fast at 4:53.
I believe in him. Although
no, I think he breaks the fast at 4:53 with 36 seconds. I think he's gonna be like, it's only 7 minutes left. I mean, I'm not what this is not a crime. This is not a crime.
Well, you're gonna be there, right, Daniel?
No.
Well, you're
I'm
not
not
there.
going to be there. I am not going to be there. I have a birthday party to go to. So,
Is he going to that same birthday party?
No, he's not.
He said he's gonna be with the family. That's
See,
what he
at
told
least
me.
Daniel has a reason. By the time he goes to that birthday party, it'll be 5 p.m. So he'll be able to enjoy the food at the birthday party. I'm telling you this right now. Alejandro is dying right now. He's looking at that fridge. He's staring at that fridge. He's making love to the fridge right now. He wants to eat, but he can't. Am I lying? Like, you know your brother. Brother.
I pictured my brother. He's sitting on his couch watching some sort of game on TV, and he's staring at his dog, Fauci, eating his food, wishing that he could be probably eating Fauci's food.
You guys are not even able to eat a snack, like even take like a nibble of anything right now. You have to restrain. Only
not even a glass of water. No, not even a glass of water.
Wow.
Yeah.
4:53. He's definitely breaking it. He's breaking it. Yeah.
What about this, Daniel? I'm cooking plank paneer tonight. What's the over under that it's edible?
Oh my God. Definitely not edible at all.
You don't trust me with Indian food?
No chance. No chance. I trust you, Dan, with choices of beers and choices of liquors. And then maybe choices of bars. But that's that's where I trust you, Dan.
Have you seen the new starting five with Jimmy Butler in it?
I have. I'm excited. I am
didn't
excited.
think there was a lot of Jimmy in it though yet. So far, I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. But I am excited. I've seen it. It's good. But yeah, we'll see what the other episodes have to hold.
Anthony Edwards is a star so far. I mean, LeBron, of course, because he's one of the producers. But Anthony Edwards looks great in that second episode.
He does. But why is Jason Tatum in there so much?
Yeah, you gotta put somebody.
Champions, man. I don't know. Have you seen the new Ali Wong special?
I have not.
All right.
I'm gonna check it out though. I'm gonna check it out.
Everybody loves Ali Wong.
Absolutely.
She's dating Bill Hader. You know that?
I did not know that.
Is that a good catch, or is that are you a little surprised about that? Because Vlad says it's a good catch. I say it's kind of surprising.
I don't really care what who cares if a girl.
I think it's a good catch, but I'm also a little surprised.
All right, Vlad, what you got?
No, I got nothing.
Oh, I thought Vlad was trying to jump in with something.
No, I'm not saying it's a good catch or anything, but I'm just saying I don't care what it is.
I haven't talked to Daniel in so long. I got so many things we got to touch base on, man.
I know.
You got to go?
Yeah, we have a break.
Well, stick around, Daniel. I want you to stick around for something or nothing, and you and Vlad are going to decide what's something or nothing next year. Is that cool?
That's awesome.
We'll be back. Daniel Solana, something or nothing with Vlad, and myself, Dan Day. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
anytime. Get it now and make WQAM your favorite station.
Before we get to something or nothing with my cousin Vladimir Louison and Daniel Solana, the Cleveland Guardians just busted the game wide open. They got bases loaded. They hit a batter. Detroit hit a batter, and then they hit a grand slam. They now lead 5-1 in that winner-take-all game against the Detroit Tigers. Growing up, I was a big Cleveland fan. Now, of course, I'm a Marlins guy, but it's good to see them making it happen. Grand slams are always exciting. Always love the long ball. All right, Daniel Solana, you know what goes on here. I tell you and Vlad some stuff, and you decide whether it is something or nothing. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. The French national team has supported Kylian Mbappe after being cited at a nightclub in Sweden the night after his team defeated Israel in the UEFA Nations League. Is that something or nothing?
Wait, so he went out?
He didn't play.
So
He went out afterwards.
That's nothing.
It's nothing.
His team supports him.
Did they win?
Yeah, they did defeat Israel.
So who cares?
Okay. Rick Pitino, he returns to Rupp Arena to a glorious applause. He's been back, of course, as the coach of Louisville, but he came back just as the kind of the March Madness, Midnight Madness, and people went absolutely crazy and gaga for Rick Pitino, who's even wearing a Kentucky sweatshirt, even though he's the coach of St. John. Is that something or nothing?
It's nothing. He's loving Lexington. Now, if it was Louisville, that would have been something different. And if he was wearing a tablecloth.
Hey.
He was wearing, one of those what you would call it? Would cover a table. Yeah, if he was wearing one of those, then I could understand. But he's beloved in Lexington. It's not Louisville. It's nothing.
I agree. It's nothing. It's nothing.
James Cook, questionable with a bad toe when the Bills play the Jets tomorrow. Something or nothing?
Well, that's something because the game's Monday. It's not a Monday night. And that's something good for us. Well, as a Jet fan, but yeah.
I mean, I think that's something as well for all the fantasy folks
And I
out
was
there.
just about to say that, right? Fantasy thing.
And everybody, who likes to bet on that anytime James Cook touchdown.
Oh, that's right. On the Hard Rock app.
That's right. So I think that's something.
Rolling Stone magazine has released their top 100 movie soundtracks of all time. I'm going to run them down and you let me know whether it's just total BS or if it's okay. Number 5, Saturday Night Fever. Number 4, The Beatles' Hard Day's Night. Number 3, Jimmy Cliff's The Harder They Come. Number 2, The Beatles' Help. And number 1, of course, Purple Rain. Something or nothing.
That's something. I'm going to say a soundtrack, even though I didn't really listen to the soundtrack, but the song from the soundtrack became one of the biggest songs of all time. The Bodyguard.
Mm-hmm. It was in there.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm shocked that's not in the top 5. You put in the Beatles twice. It's like, meh.
It's a little bit, but Purple Rain, definitely. That was the one that came to mind when I heard.
And no love for hip hop soundtracks. Come on, man.
Well, I just got the top 5.
What about Waiting to Exhale has one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, bro. Waiting to Exhale has one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
What about
New
Ghost?
Jersey Drive?
Ghost.
Ghost. Yes, Unchained Melody, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right? 8 Miles.
8 Mile, obviously. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Belly.
Belly, it definitely has one of the greatest.
Yeah. Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton.
how could you forget?
Yeah.
Speaking of music, on this show, we like him a lot, even though he is questionable. Vibes Cartel. He's teaming up with Major Lazer for a song called Nobody Move. Is that something or nothing?
That's something, baby. Come on, Vibes. You've been in jail for a long time. You got to get back to the studios and put some hits out. And everybody wants to work with him. That's the great part. That's when you know you're loved. When everybody, the minute you get out of jail, everybody wants to work with you because they know of the talent that you have and the type of energy and type of music that you can bring. So yeah, that's something, man. Major Lasers and Vibes Cartel, big time.
Ask you.
I was gonna say that is something, man. That is something, especially with Major Lazer. Woo-wee.
Yeah, Major, because he's not working with anybody. You know what I mean?
That's Diplo and who is in Major Lazer?
That's Diplo and his little group there, but it's they used to have some real good hits back in the day.
Oh man, they got the songs. Okay, last but not least, this is my favorite one of the day. There is an opera in Germany by Florentina Holzinger. It's called Sancta. It features naked roller skating nuns, live sex, mutilation, real blood thrown on the crowd, and crucifixion of the bodies. 18 people during its showing needed medical attention. 3 had to be put in ambulance. Is that something or nothing?
Yeah, that's something dangerous, bro. What's going on here? What's going on?
That's something. You had me until throwing the blood into the crowd.
Yeah, that's a little sick.
So you wouldn't go?
Sound like a Diddy party.
And that right there is something. Go ahead.
It might be better.
I don't know. I mean, they're throwing blood. He was only throwing baby oil. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I also had some R. Kelly news that I decided not to
Well,
give.
thank God, you can't go from Diddy to R. Kelly. That's just not a good. That's not a good. That's not a good segue.
Absolutely not.
Oh, we'll end it at that. Daniel Solana, thank you for joining us. As soon as we get back on, I don't know what our schedule is going to be like. We'll be in touch and we'll have you back on. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much.
Coming to wrap up Sports Day. Last hour next here on 560 WQAM. Oh, today got some action going on in the college football world, and also more to come. But no Hurricanes today, no Dolphins tomorrow. They're on a bye week. No Inter Miami. We just talked to Daniel Solana. They're on international break. That's a weird international break, Vlad. The week before the last game of the regular season.
Crazy, bro.
Telling me they don't want money? That's what it's all about sometimes. We got some action, though. Let's talk about what's happening in the football world, as right now there's some games. The most interesting one, Alabama at home, up 20-19 against South Carolina with about 2 minutes left. They're in that 2-minute break, and Alabama does have the ball, though, but South Carolina's played Alabama really tough at home. Interesting. Clemson, remember we thought the wheels were falling off? Well, since they got blown out by Georgia, they've been pretty darn good, and they're up on Wake Forest 49-14.
Damn.
In the fourth quarter. Yeah.
I'm worried now. I was kind of like downplaying them, trying to see what's up, but what's weird is reason why I'm worried. Say they get to the ACC championship game with one loss, and Miami's undefeated. I don't know if the ACC is going to accept. I don't know if the college football playoff committee is going to put 2 ACC teams in the college football playoffs.
They might just want to be greedy, take one ACC team, the champion, and then divvy it up between SEC, Big Ten, and what other schools they have to let in.
That champion's automatically going to get one of the top 5 bids, but the 7 wild card, are they going to? Because Clemson's definitely playing like one of the top 12 teams in the country right now.
Yeah, 10th ranked.
Yeah, so we'll see, but yeah, maybe it was a little too early to say that the downfall of Dabo.
Maybe a little bit too early, but let's see. See what happens to them next week. Missouri, they're whooping up on UMass. That's no big surprise. 45-3. West Point, Army and Navy have been great this year.
Yes. That Army-Navy game in December is going to be a goodie.
Like I said, if both teams are undefeated going into that game, then one of the teams is definitely going to make it to the college football playoffs. But there's an argument that both teams, win or lose, will be in that college football playoff.
Now, both teams are undefeated. That will be the biggest Army-Navy game of
since
all
World
time.
War II.
Yeah.
National championships decided. Army's up on UAB 44-10. That's what you call a whooping. Buffalo whooping up on Toledo 30-13. All these games are in the fourth quarter. Iowa, Washington, man. I thought Washington was going to have a little more fight. 37-10. Iowa leads Washington.
Come on, man.
Early in the fourth.
Iowa's one of the better football programs in the country. They produce great football players that go into the NFL. That coach he's really damn good.
He's been there for 100 years, by the way. 100 years. Ball State, Miami beat them earlier this year. They're defeating Kent State right now, 30-21 with about 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech, North Carolina. North Carolina's had some mind-boggling losses this year. Georgia Tech is up on North Carolina 34-24 with about 9 minutes left to play. Wisconsin Badgers, Big Ten ball, whooping up on Rutgers 35-7 with about 7 minutes left to play. And Miami of Ohio leads Eastern Michigan 14-7 with about 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Of course, some big games coming up. Oklahoma, Texas, a little Red River rivalry, taking to the Cotton Bowl, 3:30. Penn State playing Southern California at 3:30. Also, of course, everyone's excited about Ohio State, second ranked versus third ranked Oregon. That is at 7:30. The other 7:30 special is LSU and Ole Miss.
Hey, Canes fans, do you know you're going to move up the rankings without even playing a game?
Most likely.
Come on, bro. The loser of Ohio State and Oregon's probably going to drop.
The only argument be if it was a nip and tuck, really well contested game that they maybe one of the teams only drops a place or two.
Nah, you're probably going to drop below an undefeated team.
Florida, Tennessee. There was a time in my childhood that was one of the biggest games of the year. Tennessee lost to Arkansas last week. Florida doesn't seem to know what they're doing half the time. Not so much of a big game. In the Scholar Bowl, Notre Dame and Stanford at 3:30. It's always
I like that.
Interesting game. The game that we're and Daniel Solano are going to be keeping an eye on, the 11 o'clock Chase Your Bet game, Boise State versus Hawaii.
Waikiki.
I like that. Ashton
Jeffrey.
Gentry.
Gentry.
No, there's no R in there. There's Gentry.
Is Gentry?
Yeah.
No, it's not Gentry.
Gentry. Jeanty.
Oh, maybe Gentry.
But I've heard Gentry.
But wait.
But you would probably know better than me because he's Haitian.
Jean. Yeah, Gentry.
Gentry?
Yeah.
I'd pronounce it Gentry.
It's probably it's Gentry. It's not Gent. Yeah, it's not Gentry.
Okay.
It's Gentry.
No, that game's gonna be fun. I'm actually Gonna try to stay up for that one after I cook my palak paneer today, or like they were cooking palak paneer. It's Indian curry that has a spinach base to it and some tofu. I'll save some for you, Vlad, next time I see you. Oh, don't? Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, I'll be posting online at Dan Day Radio on Instagram, some of the beginning, the middle, and the end of it all. And hopefully it's okay. We got a good baseball game going on.
5-2 now. Cleveland's up top of Detroit. Bases loaded. 2 outs. We have a man at the plate for Detroit. He just fouled it off. Carpenter.
We've already had one grand slam in this game.
Yeah, one grand slam. And we also had a score in the Alabama-South Carolina game. Alabama scored.
That'll do it.
The score is 27-19. It's not over yet. They still got 154 left to go down the field to score a touchdown.
I got on a limb. That'll do it.
He struck him out. Struck out with the bases loaded. 5-2 going into the bottom of the 6th, I believe.
Beautiful. Panthers, they take on the 0-3 Buffalo Sabres tonight at 7. Alexander Barkov is questionable with a lower body injury. Of course, you can hear that game right here on 560 WQAM. If you haven't been paying attention to postseason baseball, you should. Every pitch is exciting. The Dodgers defeated the Padres 2-0 to advance to the NLCS. They'll play the Mets. Of course, you've got that Guardians-Tigers game going on right now that Vlad told you about. The winner gets the Yankees in the ALCS.
I love how people coming in and like, oh, take your Yankee cap off, and I can't wait till the Yankees get eliminated. I'm like, you sound like a bitter Marlins fan that has, you want to watch baseball, but your team hasn't done anything over the last, 4 or 5 years, pretty much since 03. So, stop your bitching.
Still have 2 World Series championships.
They do, and they beat my beloved Yankees for one of them. They did. I give them credit, but
it just doesn't feel that.
Nobody cares.
I do. I mean, you know me.
Well, you're the only one, but everybody else there.
Miami on a bye week. They're going to be playing the Colts next Sunday. Going to be interesting to see if Joe Flacco or Anthony Richardson gets the start. We talked to our dude Omar Kelly earlier this week. He said he would much rather see Joe Flacco than Anthony Richardson because Joe Flacco's a statue, and mobile quarterbacks usually give more fits to the Dolphins defense. I agree to disagree with that. I'd much rather see Anthony Richardson than Joe Flacco.
Well, the other key is, will Jonathan Taylor be healthy enough to play for the Colts? Because
I don't think he's playing
out
this week.
He's out for tomorrow's game.
I saw that.
Yeah,
at the beer garden yesterday that I was at.
Yeah, so we'll see. Because if they don't have that running, if he's not there, that running back is a major problem. So,
he was having a good year.
He's productive, and if you could take out a major weapon like that, that's good. I just want to see what's happened starting, I guess, Monday when they come back from their bye week to see if there was any improvement, any problems with Mr. Huntley, with Snoop, and the receivers, because now he should be more comfortable in the offense. It's a month. It's a month. He should be a little bit more familiar, and maybe within this week off, Mike McDaniel might put plays that he knows is going to utilize Snoop's strengths. Maybe put in a little bit more running plays for the quarterback to confuse the defense. Maybe you do something where you have both Snoop and Tyreek together. Just anything to get the offense going. And one more thing, get that running game going. That was the key. That was absolutely the key. You get Devon A-Chain back from the concussion. Mostert, you're back. After coming back from the rib injury, he'll be more in shape. You know what I'm saying? Because that was his first game, and he still was productive. And Braylon Allen was unbelievable in that fourth quarter against New England. So if you're a Dolphin fan, take a sigh of relief. You know what I mean? And be happy. There's 2-3. You know that whoever wins the Jets-Buffalo game, if the Jets win, you're only a half game behind first place in the division and a half game behind Buffalo in the division. So things could be worse if you're a Dolphin fan, but it's actually looking better.
I'm buying in, at least for now. Let's see how it goes. Got to buy into the Miami Hurricanes, 6th ranked Hurricanes. They have one of the top offenses in the country. They have a bye week. They're going to be playing at Louisville noon, 1 week from today, basically. So it's an interesting game. Louisville beat us last year. They're very good last year. This year, they've been kind of up and down. They did lose to SMU last week, but still, they are not in a pushover by any means. Just we know every game in the ACC doesn't seem to be a pushover at all. So we'll have to wait and see. Of course, the game will be on all day long right here, 560 WQAM. Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez Jr. expected to make their preseason debut tomorrow at 3:30 when the Heat host the Pelicans. So a little matinee basketball right here on 560 WQAM. The Heat had to postpone a game on Thursday because of the storm. We'll get the Atlanta Hawks. They have moved it to Wednesday. The Pelicans had a game against the Orlando Magic and said, it's preseason basketball. We'll cancel it, which is probably the better move.
I don't understand why they're playing 4 games.
Why do we reschedule a preseason game?
Right. Why are you forcing a 4 games? I guess Miami really needs some money for the preseason game.
Hey, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra. There's 82 games ahead of you. You can go ahead and skip that one.
Maybe not the Heat. Maybe the Pelicans, the players. No. We'll come to Miami and play the game. You know what I mean?
Atlanta wanted to really make that trip. Pelicans are like, we're in Orlando. Like, we'll cancel that bad boy. Inter Miami's Diego Gomez has been named MLS's top player under the age of 22. Inter Miami close out the season against New England next Saturday at 6. Of course, Diego Gomez, after Inter Miami wins the MLS Cup, will be going over to the English Premier League to play with Brighton. Not Bournemouth, Brighton. Marlins are said to be eyeing Cleveland Guardians bench coach Craig Albernaz as their next manager. Cleveland up 5-2 right now on the Detroit Tigers in that game 5 of the ALDS. Keep an eye on that. FAU hosts North Texas tonight at 7 o'clock. Minnesota Lynx defeated the New York Liberty 95-93 in overtime Thursday. They lead the WNBA Finals 1-0. Game 2 of the best-of-5 series tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And the U.S. men's national team, they take on Panama in an international friendly tonight at 9. My friend Eric did text me that he is from Panama, so he is going to be excited about that game. Little Panama, United States football. I'll be keeping an eye on that because basically that's not a bad one, Vlad. So at 9 o'clock, you can watch LSU whoop up on Ole Miss, Ohio State versus Oregon. That starts at 7:30. 9 o'clock, you can dabble on over to the U.S. men's national Panama game. And then when that game ends, there's only going to be one thing left to watch at 11 o'clock tonight, Vlad. And you know what that is.
What's that?
Hawaii
versus
Boise
State. We might have a touchdown in the Alabama-South Carolina game. And South Carolina might have to go for 2. That's a touchdown.
That would be so nice to see Alabama lose again.
Well, I mean, they got to stop this 2-point conversion now. And then if they do, it might be going to overtime.
So
that's a touchdown.
Let's see what happens. We'll keep you up to date on that. And while we wait, it is a touchdown. Let's take a step into the day spa. A 24-year-old woman was buying an energy drink the other day, and the cashier warned her that all that caffeine is very hazardous to a woman like herself that is in her 40s. Oops.
Wow.
Never assume someone's age, Vlad. Never assume.
I see that.
I've seen the video. I sent you the link.
Yeah, this lady who's
she's
24, but she looks like she's 40.
She does not look as 24 young as, but she don't look 40, does she?
No, she doesn't look 40. She just, I don't know. I'll still holler.
I would too. That's one thing. Maybe he was trying to holler in a way. But that's not the way to holler. Don't ask women. Or women don't like, guys don't like that either. Like when people assume you're the wrong age. You always go 20 years young. Okay, they're lined up for this 2-point conversion.
Yeah, before we go to break, let's see if
South Carolina. Can the Gamecocks get into the end zone for a 2-point conversion? It's high. It was a very bad pass, by the way.
Oh, man, that was terrible.
Threw that one into the tubas. He was hit while he threw. There's now 43 seconds left. And Alabama, they'll get an onside kick. So game's not over. They're in Alabama, though, just to be having a chance to win in Tuscaloosa. That's pretty darn good. I don't know what that says about the Alabama.
Hold on, I got to see if I needed that 2-point conversion there.
I lost that Cleveland Detroit baseball game. You had 5.5 over under.
I had
under.
Oh damn, I lost.
Well, at least you got Hawaii and Boise State tonight. You can always chase those bets. Up next, going to talk some Tua and the Dolphins. Will he be back? What does it mean? We'll find out next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
and they would have went and found a replacement, go try to trade for a veteran to come in and help them. You've seen how they struggle without Tua being on the field. So I think the decision's already been made.
No reason to rush back, though, because it doesn't look like this team is very good with or without Tua, honestly. And before he got hurt, they were struggling against the Bills. So I'm not sure that this team has playoff aspirations, depending on whether he shows up or not.
The way they've played without him makes me think he must be the greatest quarterback in the history of the league because he made the offense go, and it doesn't do anything without him.
There you go. That's Dan Griziano, ESPN. The guy's talking about, I think, speaking all truths, number one, Tua must be the best quarterback in the world because when he's not in there, the Dolphins look lethargic on offense. Also, is there a need to rush back? They were getting handled by the Bills. At the same time, though, now you're 2-3. You got a chance to be 3-3. You got a chance to be still in the division. What do you do? Main question is, why did the Dolphins not prepare a little bit better? Why are we on our, quote, you and I have said it, Vlad, fourth string quarterback? The best the Dolphins could do was hope that Tua didn't get hurt this season because their backup, Mike White, who they were paying $4 million a year, cut him because Skylar Thompson outplayed him. Skylar Thompson got in and looked very ill-prepared, whether that's on the coaching staff, whether that's on him, whether that's on both of you, and ended up getting himself hurt. Tim Boyle gets in there. That's your quote-unquote third-string quarterback. I mean, whatever. And now Tyler Huntley has looked kind of there, kind of not there. Is that a major issue? Now we know, or at least we think we know, the Dolphins are going to go out there in the offseason and get a legitimate backup quarterback, possibly.
They need to.
They need to. Remember, we made fun of the Falcons so many times about why would you draft Michael Penix Jr.? You're paying Kirk Cousins. Well, Kirk Cousins got that injury history with his Achilles, and now that's not looking like the stupidest idea in the world. Miami Dolphins going to have to probably go out. I mean, let's hope they're going out to get a backup quarterback because if Tua gets another concussion this year, you may have to look for a brand new quarterback altogether.
All right.
There's no way the
There's
NFL.
There's a lot of, because, like, okay, he comes back. He gets hit in any swoosh, in any type of hit that's close to the head, under the chin, like anything that's above, under the chin, facial, anything, and he wobbly, he starts throwing signs. That is it.
Dude, if you are the spotter who is quote unquote independent, if Tua takes somewhat of a hit to the head, you are playing it safe and you are putting him in that tent and you're probably not letting him back out there because you don't want to be the guy or the girl that sends him back out there with a concussion and then find out that he played with another concussion. But Vlad, if you get another fencing incident, and we all know the fencing incident is him looking at his hands after having a concussion, I don't see how the NFL, and the NFL has already come out and said, we have final say on whether he plays or not. He can clear protocol. He can be team doctored. Okay. But we have the final say. And I think
I didn't know that they would,
yes,
they were going to go to that route.
They have come out and said that we have final say on all players, but in this Tua Tagovailoa situation, you have one more fencing incident, especially this season. There's no way the NFL, especially with all that they have with CTE and all the craziness that's going on.
Yep.
Now, I did talk to a doctor, Vlad, and I asked him, no, he's a retired doctor. I said, is there any way that he could die on the field from a concussion? And the doctor who I talked to said, that's not a likelihood. The more likeliness, you can die on the field, as we know. And you can die from head trauma, yes. But he said the likelihood is not that he would die on the field from a concussion. He would just get another concussion. But the long-term effects could be just absolutely devastating. So that made, I don't know if that made me feel any better, but I was like, oh, well, thank goodness. Most likely we won't see anybody ever die on the field. But like, whew, but one more fencing incident. Honestly, Vlad, if I'm Tua, I say if I have one more fencing incident, I'm calling it a day.
I think if he has one more fencing incident, he knows he's got to call it a day because his family's going to help him. It's going to make that call as well. Like, this is not something that's going to be, it's going to be a concerted effort by everyone. This is not going to be just a regular, I don't think this is only a Tua decision. I mean, eventually it becomes a Tua decision, but he's going to have to involve his family.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is going to be involved and the Dolphins are going to be involved. And they rather the safety of that man to continue the rest of his life. And but that's us obviously thinking in the long run and the short run. So, but what they were saying in that he has on Get Up that was true was that even before Tua got hurt, They weren't playing well
No,
offensively.
they played very
And-
badly against
And they've
Jacksonville.
continued not playing well offensively. So this was not only something because of somebody got hurt. This was something that's been going on since the end of last season that's matriculated into this season, and it's still not been corrected.
Yeah, and I think getting a little bit healthier will make a difference, but something is just not right with this offense. And we noted it from game 1 and game 2. Like, this offense just looks out of kilter, and they have never really seemed to get on the right page. And you keep asking, as a Dolphins fan, you're frustrated. You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Jonnu Smith. They're starting to get him more involved. Now you have Odell Beckham Jr. Now Raheem Mostert's coming back. You got Devon Achane. Why is it so hard for us to move the ball? Why is it at the end of the New England game, you just basically say, Alec Ingold, go plow someone over, Raheem Mostert and Jalen Wright run through it. Like, it's frustrating. And here's the other thing. Tua comes back, let's just say, for argument's sake, against Arizona. Concussion, no concussion. Does the offense look that much better? Is it going to get that much better? Because it wasn't that much better that 1.5 games we saw at the beginning of the season. Outside of that 80-yard bomb that he made to Tyreek Hill, there was not a lot of great movement in there.
No, it wasn't.
He was overthrowing, and guys were dropping passes, and it's just.
And the offensive line wasn't working. Like they were hurt. They weren't protecting. That's why I gave credit to Teron Armstead. I know I'm hard on him pretty much a lot because of the fact that, death taxes, and he's gonna miss at least a minimum 4 games. But he did play last week when he didn't have to. He could have waited for the bye week for him to be fully healthy, but he came because that game was a needed win. That was a you must stop the bleeding win, and they did that. And as bad as you think you are or things are going, just understand this is going just as bad for the other teams in your division. So you're not that far off from still being able to compete and win this division.
And it really is true. Teams take on the identities of their coaches and quarterbacks. That's what you're going to get from the Bills as long as Josh Allen is your quarterback. You're going to get the roller coaster because some plays he looks like the MVP. Some plays he looks like he doesn't know how to play football. And that's the way the team is built. Bills one game are going to look like the best team in the NFL. The next game, they're going to look like they didn't even know how to play Pop Warner football. The Jets, who knows what's going on there? And I'm not going to pile on because everybody's been talking about the Jets. But they fire the coach.
Yeah.
They demote Hackett, the offensive coordinator, who's Aaron Rodgers' guy. They have the defensive coordinator coaching the team and other people playing. Aaron Rodgers is going on TV like, I'm angry at the fact that people thought that I had something to do with it, but they did pull me into a room and tell me about it, that they were going to fire Salah.
But here's the thing, though, right? And this is my part on this. This is why I always been saying this is a game. This is no sport can make you upset or happy for 4 to 6 days. If the Jets had won that nasty game against the Broncos, I don't think Robert Saleh's fired.
Right.
If the Jets figured out a way to come back and beat the Minnesota Vikings in London last week, I don't think Robert Saleh's fired.
You find a way to win against the 49ers in the game season opener.
I'm not even worried about it. That's just the season opener. You won 2 in a row after that, right? But if you just won one of these next 2 games, I don't think you get fired. But you get fired because that's something the owner was thinking of from before. This is not something that just happened like you know what I'm saying?
Really, it's time and optics, Vlad. I'll tell you this.
Right.
The owner was probably like, I'm getting sick of this. If he gives me a reason, I'm going to give him a reason. Well, he gave you a reason in front of a national audience when you were the only game on in London at 9:30 in the morning where all eyes were on you and you had all Sunday to talk about it. That was a bad timing, a bad place to do it. Happens maybe on another game, just another 1 o'clock game. Maybe you sneak by for another week.
If another team that's been talked about as often as the Jets were played and lost, then people would talk about it. But it's New York, and the next day they fired him. Nobody was talking about Joe Burrow and and the Cincinnati Bengals losing. It's not a big thing. It's bigger because it's New York and it's Aaron Rodgers. So yeah. But here's what I tell. This is what I always like I was telling you guys. If we beat Buffalo on Monday,
you're in first place.
Yeah.
Place. So that's what we're saying. Buffalo, they're going to go up and down with Josh Allen. That's the way they're built. That's the way they are. The Jets, you don't know what's going on. They may rally and start winning games. They may fall apart. The New England Patriots
are dunzo.
Pretty sure they're bad. So that leaves the Dolphins. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You're right there in the midst of it all. You could be getting your quarterback back. Maybe this offense didn't do a lot of reps in the preseason. Maybe now they can start getting their footing and they can start building towards the end of the year and getting healthy. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the AFC East. And I'm not being positive or negative in any way. I can't tell you what's going to happen.
I can tell you 10-7 is going to win that division.
That's probably right. The way everybody looks right now, they're 3-2, 2-3, or 1-4. Let's bring it on, man. Tua, stay healthy. Let the chips fall where they may. We're going to put the chips down next. Final segment. Sports Day on 560 WQAM next.
it today and make WQAM your favorite station.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Woo! Been a wild one so far today. I really thought South Carolina was dead in the water. Came back, scored a touchdown on the last minute against Alabama at Alabama. Got the onside kick. And then they threw an interception. So Alabama does hold on to defeat South Carolina. This baseball game is wild, 6-3. Cleveland leads Detroit, bottom of the 7th. Hold on. There's going to be a lot of action in these next 3 innings. It's been an exciting game.
By the way, I think people in Ohio should thank Major League Baseball for moving the game from 8 p.m. to 1 p.m. I mean, they had to do it because of apparently some bad weather was going to hit the Cleveland area later on this afternoon or in evening. But look at that. If you're an Ohio State fan, you can enjoy the Indians in the afternoon and then enjoy your Ohio State-Oregon game at 7:30. So you don't have to, you're not going to be forced to choose between the two.
Nope. You have to not make a choice. You can just relax and, well, not relax, but go on and play these games. Louisville, who is the next opponent for the Miami Hurricanes, they've just got underway against Virginia. It's 0-0 right now, so that's going to kind of keep an eye on that one. A couple of other games are underway of note. Penn State, Southern Cal. Cal, who we beat last week against Pittsburgh. Remember, talked to Alex from Funky Buddha earlier. Pittsburgh money line over Cal, or if you like those 2.5 points they were catching, you can go ahead and make that bet. But Pittsburgh is undefeated on the season, so interesting games right there to play. And then Georgia Tech and North Carolina in a barn burner, 41-34. Georgia Tech leads with just a couple of seconds left. We shall see what happens with that. The rest of the day going to be so exciting. I'm nervous and excited about LSU Ole Miss. That's coming up at 7:30. Of course, you don't want to miss Ohio State and Oregon. That is also at 7:30. 9 o'clock, you get that U.S. men's national game against Panama. And 11 o'clock, Boise State and Hawaii to chase all those bets away. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to try to cook palak paneer tonight. Indian food.
Try to do something.
Indian spinach paneer is what I'm going to try to do with some tofu. I'm just trying to figure out how to pick up the groceries right now, and I don't remember. I mean, these Amazon apps, man, I don't know how they work. And then I end up buying 5 different things that I didn't even know I bought, and it just gets weird, man. It just gets weird. Some things, guys, if you're honest, don't like doing. Picking up groceries. That's one of the things that no guy really, really likes to do. Shopping for groceries. No guys really like doing that. Sorry. Cooking. I mean, some guys like cooking, I guess. I don't know a lot of that really deep down inside. Like, you know what, Vlad? You know what we should do tonight? No, I don't want to go to Funky Buddha. I don't want to go to Duffy's. I don't want to watch the game. We should all get together and cook. Huh. No. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Got the Red River rivalry going on right now. Number 1 Texas versus 4-1, 18th ranked Oklahoma.
You think Steve Sarkisian's gonna get ripped if Quinn Ewers doesn't play too well? He's back. He's back in the lineup.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation. You have Arch Manning, who was a top recruit out of course, New Orleans, and he's part of the Manning family. He came in when Ewers was hurt, played very well for the number 1 team in the country. I don't know. Maybe he feels as though he has an abundance of riches. Ewers just got sacked on the first play of the game. Get Arch Manning in there. Get him in there.
I'm saying.
I mean, if you're a Texas fan, you know who you want to be your quarterback.
Yeah, you want Arch to be your quarterback.
You want Arch Manning to be your quarterback. Can't believe he sat out last year. Can't believe he's not starting right now, but that's just kind of the way it is. What you got going on the rest of the day, Vlad? Anything exciting or good?
Nah, just gonna chill probably with the old man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure he good and just enjoy these games. Just watch these games. It sucks when your team doesn't play till Monday when they're the last game. So you're looking at everything just to keep you occupied. Some great college football games. Obviously, we're gonna watch the Panthers on take on the Sabres at 7 p.m. and you can listen to it on 560 WQAM with our boy, Dougie Plagans with the call, K-Raj with the pregame and postgame and intermission breaks. And then watch some UFC tonight.
Oh,
I think. And that's pretty much it, bro. And lay some wagers.
You can do some wagering. That's the big thing.
I was trying to see if there was anything going on in the backyard in Fort Lauderdale today, but because this is one of the few times on a Saturday that I'm able to actually attend certain events because we're usually working. But doesn't seem like anything's popping off tonight.
Clint Ewers has gotten off to an auspicious start. He got sacked, and now he's throwing an interception on the first minute and a half of the game, minute and 15 seconds of the game. Arch Manning, start warming up. Just saying, that's number one ranking. That's a national champion. Well, I guess now you can actually kind of lose a game and still win a national championship. Oh, look, Tristan Thompson's at the baseball game because it's in Cleveland.
Oh, I guess the Cavaliers are showing support for the Guardian fans.
I don't blame them, man.
For the Guardians.
I don't blame them, man. Get to go to a big time playoff game and watch your team, or at least the city you play for, his other team play. It's pretty cool. I like that. A little support right there. Over there, a progressive field, whatever you want to call it. The rest of the day, though, man, we just got some good games, man. Real good games. Going to be really excited about that. Tomorrow, we're going to have the Miami Heat game against the New Orleans Pelicans. I've already predicted that when the Pelicans return on January 1st, they will be in first place in the Western Conference. I'm not saying they're going to finish there, just saying they're going to be there. Don't know where the Heat are going to fall. Looks like Jimmy Butler is all about business. I'll probably watch a little more of the starting five tonight. Kind of get deeper into that and hopefully watch some good stuff, man, because lately I have not been catching the best of the best stuff as far as video is concerned and just life kind of lately. I don't know. I'm in great places, but it's one of those things. No more baseball tonight, though. No more. This is it.
Well, no baseball tonight, but tomorrow the Mets and the Dodgers kick off the NLCS beginning at 8 p.m. in LA. And then the winner of this game 5 between the Guardians and the Tigers will take on the Yankees Monday night beginning at 7:30.
That's an exciting one right there. Of course, there's more recent history with the Guardians and the Yankees.
That's history with Tigers and Yankees. Tigers eliminated us in a division series.
Okay. I mean, two of the long-standing, well, I guess Cleveland's one of the long-standing traditional teams.
Yeah, Cleveland and the Yankees have had a long story.
I've watched a lot of those games, man. I've watched Cleveland get eliminated. I've watched Cleveland eliminate the Yankees.
I'll never forget Sandy Alomar Jr. hitting that home run off Mo in '97. Oklahoma went for a bomb for a touchdown. Just a little too far.
Two teams just kind of feeling themselves out. Ooh, man, I'm picking up groceries, man. Puts me in a funk, man.
Yeah, you were all good until that last text, man. Here's a question, guys, before we leave. If you're cooking, do you need to do the grocery shopping, or should your significant other get the groceries so that you can cook?
It's one of those things.
Because I ain't gonna lie to you, if I'm cooking and I asked you to get the groceries and then she said no, and I gotta go pick up the groceries, I'm making a meal of one.
I know. And then this is what makes it more complicated. I was like, it'll be no big deal. I'll just pop open a beer. Like, oh, no, wait, I have to drive myself there. So, no, I can't pop open a beer and just take it easy. So, good. So, if I'm wrong on Ali Wong's new comedy special, if I'm wrong on the Joker, Folie à Deux, if I'm wrong on hating to get the groceries, please let me know at Dan Day Radio. Of course, check us out on social media, because what we do is we are live on YouTube and Twitch, and I like to repost some of the highlights of the week throughout the week. So keep checking on that, keep sending that in, and we're just going to kind of hang in here. The Miami Hurricanes and Miami Dolphins are off this week. Inter Miami off this week. Panthers got some action for you tonight. FAU going to be playing North Texas if you want to make it up, or if you're up in that Boca area, and just kind of enjoy the games. It's nice to have a little time to breathe, especially coming off both teams winning. I like the fact that we won. Things seem to be okay for now. Let's relax.
I think UM needed the break more so than the Dolphins.
Games were getting tight. I think it's just a chance to reassess with everything, realizing that the ACC, it's not Ball State anymore. This is some big time football. So, yeah. Going to be one of those things. And then tomorrow you get a bunch of football. Like you said, the Jets and the Bills play Monday night. That's a Monday night game.
That's a Monday night game. But tomorrow you got Washington, Baltimore, that our boy Alex from Funky Buddha was letting us know. He likes the over in that game, and he also likes Washington +5, I believe. He likes the Commanders +5, but he definitely likes the over in that game. I like if you can get a prop bet of the quarterbacks, if they can get combo rushing yards over 80 yards, I would jump on it.
Oh, that's a lot. But yeah.
What else we have tomorrow? You also have Detroit, Dallas is the major afternoon 4:30 game.
Ooh,
Detroit in Dallas.
Because every once in a while, the Cowboys act like they're for real. Every once in a while.
You never know
what game it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a game. that I'm gonna watch. And before we go, and this is for our boy Trevor. I'm gonna watch the Eagles Browns game because if the Eagles lose to the Browns after a bye week, I think Nick Sirianni's the next coach to get fired during the season.
That sounds about right. They cut Devin White, defender, the Philadelphia.
You got to know you're not good if a coach won't let you play against your former team.
Yeah,
that just recently let you go. If you can't go against that team to get revenge, then you're donezo.
Yeah, that's it. Well, lots to stay up with. Check us out at Vlad2078. I am at Dan Day Radio. If you're in Whole Foods in South Beach, I don't know, say hi. I don't know what's going on. Vlad, I don't know when we're going to be on again. Just follow the social media. We'll get you going. Thank you so much for hanging out, Vlad. This has been another edition of Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Later,
slug.